What's going on, mate?
Got me, Kimasabi.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Just trying to sort my headphones out.
Yeah. So let me know if the kids get too rowdy in the background, I'll kick them out.
Oh, you're good, mate. What's been happening?
Oh, just over at the in-laws and all that, just life stuff, you know. Like I said, I got like these 10 books I gotta do reviews on. I've been trying to do one for Terra Olympus Volume 2 for about 2 weeks now, and it's just been non-stop other stuff getting in the way. Because just you need the time. You got to write the review. You got to sit down and record it. You got to muck around with the audio. Then you got to trim it down. Then you got to go find all the screenshots you want. Then you got to go find all pictures of EVS in a wig for all of your spot gags all the way through. And it just like it's a good half a day to put together a video, all for 30 views. Totally worth it. But just with the kids and the missus and everything, because it's school holidays and the kids are home and that, it's just flat chat. So I haven't had time to do much at all, really.
Yeah, I've been slack myself.
I haven't seen a video from you in a little while.
You got to be really in the mood to do a video. Otherwise it's just. What's happening, CG? Did you get your mic sorted out?
Hell no, man. I just popped in here and I was listening to Lee there. He's I sound like an army of Transformers trying to work shit out.
My audio no good?
No, you sound fine on my end.
CG just lives in a third world country.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, Kentucky is third world.
Oh, I think it's like California.
At the moment, yeah.
So, how about, is it too controversial to talk about Micah?
Yeah, poor guy.
No, please.
I was just saying to the boys in the chat earlier, Mike is trying to attribute a lack of sales for his new. Oh, we've lost CG. For his, he doesn't want to be associated. It's too controversial. He's like, fuck these guys, I'm out. He's like, oh, I've done my 12 seconds. I'm gone.
So what? He's not CG anymore.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to speculate on that. Mike is saying that he's 3 days, 4 nights. I think it is 3 nights. Yeah, 3 days, 4 nights. Isn't doing as well as his other book, and he reckons it's because he hasn't fully fulfilled the other one by the time he started this one. But I was saying before, I reckon it's more the content that a book about Knight Templars with magic powers fighting monsters, like that's pretty niche. Yeah, you ask somebody about like street level superhero, XMMA street level superhero. Most people are pretty happy to. You right, mate?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you say, street level. You go to any normie, you say street level superhero. What are you talking about? Oh, Daredevil, Punisher, Spider-Man. Yeah, love that. That's great. What about a movie about four Knight Templars fighting werewolves in a magic castle? I'm right, thanks. You know, like it's not. You can't expect the same. It's a Venn diagram. You know, there's only a little bit of overlap there. Like I don't really like magic, fantasy, orcs and goblins and stuff in my comics. I like it fine on my tabletop when I'm playing Warhammer and that, but I don't necessarily like in comics. I really just like mostly superhero, crime, maybe a bit of horror sort of stuff, but everything else I'd rather just leave it where it's at. So, you know, like I bought in on Englewood, but I don't have any interest in 3 days, 4 nights because it's not my thing in a comic. I don't really want to see it. So you can't. Zach's had the same sort of thing. He had all this bunch of people bought Jawbreakers, but not all those people bought Iron Sights, and then some people bought both, but not all of them bought in on Pandemic or on what's his other one, Ballad of No. And he's got this other sci-fi one coming up, and a whole bunch of people like Zach, I like you and all, but I'm just not interested in a sci-fi spaceship comic. I'm cold on. I'm not interested. So yeah, you got to realize is know your audience, know your niche. You can't trust the same people are going to follow you to every project, especially when there's so many projects competing for money right now. It's just more prolific than it's ever been. I can't count the amount of I'm just getting emails every day. You update your details and fill in this form to get your rewards, and then I think you have to ease off a little bit. I think because I can't keep track of them all.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. But at the same time, Mika could be right. You know, like how he's not finished with his first campaign, he's already starting up another one. That would stop a lot of people. There'll be people that may be interested in his second campaign, but they're still waiting on stuff from the first one, so they're not going to give him any more money.
So it might be
a bit
element of both. There's some people that are like, I'm not keen. Some people are like, I was keen, but I don't really want to go in on something when the other one hasn't been fulfilled.
Yeah.
Which I don't really get. I mean, how many people in ComicsGate haven't fulfilled a project? You know, Critias, Huerta's a little bit behind, but he's constantly updating people, and his stuff looks so good. It's worth waiting for. I don't know. It was like when Zach launched Iron Sights after.
CG, remember?
What's that?
Huerta, he's not CG, remember?
That's right. Yeah, you got to get it. But Gail Simone is.
Yeah, because that makes so much fucking sense.
I don't know how I'm not blocked by her. I'm sure she's
either.
at least.
It's because she's CG, mate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She's one of the boys. I'm sure my troll account's muted by her. I was smashing her pretty bad the other day over some stuff, and I never got a single response. And I don't think that she can resist the bait. You know,
my alt was blocked within minutes.
So I've never heard of her muting people. She's one of those show. Look at me, I've got to block someone. I'm blocking people. Yeah. You know, people got to make a big show of it. I haven't blocked anybody. I've muted a couple of the aunties because they just never, like Vicky just never stops me. She's just constantly, just like a little dog, just bow, wow, 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 wow. I'm like, I don't need that negativity. I'm a pretty happy dude. Like,
I even unblocked half of them. Like, I blocked a bunch of the aunties and then I unblocked them all so that I could, I don't know, keep arguing. I don't know.
I try not to argue. You're not going to change anyone's mind online. I've said this before. I can count on one hand the number of times I've convinced someone in real life, let alone online. Like in real life, you're face to face. You've got a chance maybe to make them go, oh, actually, you know what? I can see your point of view. I will consider it. I'm open to the idea. I can see that happening in real life, but online, people are just going to like, lol, get wrecked, faggot, and turn and shut you, and mute you or whatever. It's not conducive, and especially Twitter. We only got so many characters. Trying to argue on there is just like hammering a nail through your dick. I imagine. I've never tried it, but I imagine it's in the same ballpark. Kels, those new badges look fantastic, mate. Because that's totally what we were talking about. I don't know. CG, what were you going on about? Reckon that we weren't talking about the badges?
I picked one straight away that I like, but then because all yous have all different opinions, now I like them all and I can't decide.
Yeah. Let me just have a look at them again. Which one did you like, Rod? Oh, mate.
When you guys said Spanner, I had no fucking idea.
It's think of like a
what do they call them? A shifter.
Think of like an engine with gear cogs and stuff. So imagine if you throw a spanner into the works, everything's just going to go boom and hit the fan. It's
going to get jammed up. You can't progress.
Yeah, just fucks everything.
That's okay. Okay, so what the fuck were you guys talking about?
Well, hang on.
Yeah, I still can't relate this back to the sheriff badges. There's like a favorite gap that I'm missing.
No, Kel's his favorite. Yeah, and we all jumped in with what we thought was the favorite. And he's like, well, I can't move forward because you guys have told me that I like the other ones better, not the ones that I picked. Like I picked the one with the black one.
Hang on a second.
It's like trying to order a pizza. You're trying to get 10 people in a room to order the one pizza, one type of pizza. Forget about it. I'll never get them to agree. I think the one with the black on it's got the most impact for like t-shirts and merch and stuff like that because it's so high contrast. The one next to it looks really good too, but you kind of lose a bit of the star shape behind the word sheriff. But I think bottom left and the middle bottom are the two best. The other ones, because the contrast isn't high enough, it doesn't grab me as much. Like maybe if you took one of the other ones and threw some black on it, like the first one, and changed all of the also like the brownish bronze color, the darker color into black. Or even if you took the second one and put a black outline around the whole thing, something like that. They all got potential. Anybody who's unfortunate enough to watch this stream's like, what are these guys talking about?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find where I saved it.
Well, at least we all agree the best ones are those top three. You know, like the one that I said is my favorite.
No, that's the exact opposite of what we agree upon.
No, because think about it, right? Like, even though my favorite is not your favorite, my second favorite is your favorite, and I'm assuming that your second or third favorite is my favorite and Cal's favorite. Because my top 3 is my favorite, then your favorite, then Cal's favorite. So I think we all agree which ones are the best looking logos.
But I like the ones on the bottom line.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I think as well. Except
Okay,
that top left corner one I really like as well.
Yeah,
But I don't like the other 2.
so it's all happening, Kels. You've got your own company. You're getting a logo.
Yeah.
Feels good, mate.
This damn
Now
thing's
you
not
need
safe.
books.
Yeah, that's right. It's real. I got to do like tax and stuff for my company because I'm like the major shareholder in my company, but I also employ myself, but I can't pay myself because I'm not making any money. It's a trip.
I'm just going to add it on to the income that I normally do with my art stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this year it'll say something, you know, rather than 20 grand or something extra on the side that I made just drawing pictures, it'll say something shocking from an Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I was looking at some of the ones that you know, get through and get popular, and you see people say, you know, help make it happen, and they've already got like 38, 40,000 American. That's so much money. I know, like,
that's
you
more than
compare.
enough to me, man.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, you convert that to Australian dollary dues, and that's like someone's yearly wage salary. So,
Oh, yeah. Ethan is way over $1 million when it comes to Australian dollars.
oh yeah, and he's just a freak of nature. Anybody that can. It's a combination of drawing that well and having that cult of personality. But I look at these other campaigns; they're doing really well, and I think, shit, I can do that. There's times where I doubt myself, but then I look at some of the stuff that gets through, and I think, no, my stuff's better than that. It's just
Yeah,
about,
I have moments. Like, there are plenty of people in PG that are better than me, but then there are moments when you see one that is doing really well, and I think to myself, yeah, I could do that. I could do better than that.
Yeah, and it's just not slagging on them or anything. Just sort of, it is what it is. Like sometimes I'll see campaigns come up. Tompa's really good at just highlighting campaigns for everyone, and I'll see something. Oh, that looks pretty cool. The cover looks cool, and you click on it, and you go have a look at the campaign, and the cover looks great because I've got this pro-looking cover, but then the inside art is just not good, and you think I can't pay money for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like even if like let's say you're better than me at drawing, right? That doesn't mean I'm going to hate on you, or I'm better than you. That doesn't mean you're going to hate on me. We can both hate Rob Willis.
That's right. Otherwise, his mum would hate him. His mum would have kicked him out at age 12.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a prodigy. I don't know how you get so many levels and tones and shade with a simple like HB or 2B or whatever he uses without smudging. I don't know how he managed to get that. You know, like you get to a point where you just there's nowhere else to go. You know, there's no more white paper to put lead on. Eventually, you got so much graphite on the page. You go, look, I got to walk away from this, or you got to fix it with something and then maybe work over again or move to a different medium. Simon Bisley's got a fantastic little comic series that was in Heavy Metal magazine probably 20 years ago. And I'm sure he just did the whole thing raw. He didn't even plan it out. He just did it panel by panel on a page, and he must have just had whatever pencils and markers and ink he had on hand, and he just used pencil and ink as he saw fit. Like it wasn't consistent. Some panels would be all pencil, some would be pencil with an ink outline, some would have some darks done in the ink, and it really worked. It looked really raw and choppy, and it suited it's like a post-apocalyptic Western zombie, big titty nudie girl type cowgirl thing. It is fun. But I don't know. I don't know how Rob does what he does. He's a prodigy. Yeah, so the one in the bottom corner, that with the black, that just pops out. The other ones, if you take that black one out, the next best one is the one on the very right-hand side down the bottom because it's got the next highest contrast.
Yeah, and that's my favorite one.
There you go.
Yeah, I like the top left and the bottom right. That's the two I was sort of choosing. So I'm going to get her to maybe you try and do it now with the color of the top left one, but put the big font in it and maybe change the font a little bit where it's not so much Westerny. It's a bit more, I don't know.
I guess I'm thinking about it in terms, and if you've watched any of my reviews, thanks. But secondly, I always talk about the cover and how important the cover is. Hold on. Thank you.
See, I'm picturing it on the comic cover, you know, like where you see the little Marvel logo or the DC logo in the corner.
That's what I'm saying. From 10 feet away in the comic book store, you walk along. Yeah. You know, the darker ones, they pop more. You look, oh, Sheriff. I like Westerns. I like Cowboys. Yeah, you got the whole badge motif, the whole US Deputy Marshal type thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that links into that visually. I see that.
That's why I like the top left one as well, though, because it has the very clear star outline with no writing breaking up the star shape. So from far
I was
away,
going to say it's very neat.
badge.
I still think it needs like a black outline, or the text needs to be black or black outlined itself.
I hate all
add a
these.
black outline to it, sure.
We should never show this. Screw you guys.
It's because we're both actually artists. Like, we can both draw, so we're looking at it going, all right, well, this is what you're going to do, and this is how I would draw it, and this is what I would change.
That's true. You never. It's like being an artist and a writer. You never look at a picture and don't go either, how did they do that, or here's what I would have done different. And you never read a story or watch a movie and go, this is what I think is going to happen, or this is how I would have done it different. Like I've said before, I reckon probably 80% of all my projects is me watching or engaging in some sort of media and going, that was cool, but I was thinking they were going to do this and they didn't. Gee, I wish they'd done that. And then I go and do like my own version of it. Like I look at it and go, that was all right for what it was, but I feel like there's potential to do something else there, and it didn't get acted upon, and it never will now, because once you've made Batman Begins, Justice League's not a good example. Once you make something, it doesn't tend to get made again. That's a bad example because everything's getting remade. You know what I say though? No one's gonna.
Justice League is getting made again.
Yeah. So if you've got a story that's got 30 elements in it, and at element 28, you think they should have deviated and done something different for a different ending, but they didn't. They went through and did what they did. There's never going to be that opportunity to have those same previous 28 elements and then deviate the way you thought. The only way it's going to get made is if you make it, because it's already been made so closely to how it was going to go. No one's going to remake it that closely. Nobody does a one-for-one remake of a movie. They always change stuff. Like when they were going to put a girl in instead of Patrick Swayze for the Roadhouse remake, which is just sacrilege, because as we all know, Roadhouse is literally the best movie ever made. That's the hill I will. That's the hill I will die on.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a worthy hill to die on.
I still haven't seen that Den of Thieves, mate.
I can't believe you haven't watched that yet.
I haven't had a chance.
You gotta watch it.
Oh, as soon as I get a spare, it sounds dumb. As soon as I get a spare 2 hours, like at this point,
it's climbing my list. Yeah,
it's dad life, man. Like,
it's so good.
I mean, I'm not too worried about what my kids see on the telly. They're pretty chill, but to have the sit down, 2 minutes to sit down and watch it and enjoy it. And then if the missus isn't feeling like anything, she's pretty cool. Like, she'll watch sort of whatever I put in front of her. But if she, if there's some stuff that's a bit too violent and a bit too whatever, she's like, nah, I'm just not keen. Like, she's got some pretty, her work's kind of prickly. So sometimes you'd see people being hurt, and that it links to the trauma that she has to see other people going through in her job, and it's a bit much for her and she has to tap out. So sometimes I just need like a little safe room. I can just disappear for a couple of hours and just watch a movie or play a game or something. But it doesn't happen. I'm figuring I'm going to put everything on hold till these guys are like 10, and then I'm going to live my life again.
Yeah. It's really good. Like, there's no SJW crap in it. It's really good.
It strikes me Gerard Butler's not the sort of bloke that would worry about that sort of thing too much. Like, he's I feel like some of these guys. Good job. Is it a giraffe?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's good.
It is good. Some of these blokes sit down and they go, so Die Hard 12, it's looking really, really good. Heaps of blood, guts, bullets, all that sort of thing. Can we take out all the sexy women, cover up all the boobs, and is there any way you can replace me with a black, female, transgender, disabled person? Because, I'm Bruce Willis. I'm just too privileged. They're looking for ways. You see that article? It says that the white actors are getting worried now because there's like, they're calling it reverse racism, but it's always just racism, that a bunch of them are getting told you won't be hired for roles anymore. Sorry, Meryl Streep, we're not going to hire you for roles anymore, because it's got to be people of color for visibility and that sort of thing. And I saw this other clip, Viola Davis, I think her name is. She played Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
She's doing this huge tirade about how she's got as much history, as many movies, as good an education, as good a training as someone like Meryl Streep, but she doesn't have a 10th or a 100th of the recognition. And she's trying to place it on the fact that she was black and Meryl Streep was white. And she's trying to say that's why she wasn't recognized. And I just think it's just such a punk move to go, I'm owed something. I don't have as much as I deserve, and I'm going to blame everyone else instead of just doing better. Like she's well famous. She absolutely did an amazing job in Suicide Squad. I think she's also in that How to Get Away with Murder show. And she was in Law and Order for 100 years. Like she's probably never stopped working. But then you got another woman, CCH Pounder, who did the voice of Amanda Waller in the cartoons and was in The Shield for 7 seasons. Very similar sort of actress, both African American, both play the same sort of like cop, lawyer, that sort of thing. I've never heard her complain about, like most people probably never heard of CCH Pounder. You say that name like it sounds like a rapper or something. It's just like the 70-year-old black grandma playing all these parts, and she's just bomb, you know. And you never hear her, you know.
She's in that NCIS New Orleans, isn't she?
Yeah. She's got blonde hair. I saw one episode of it, and she had blonde hair.
That show has just gone to complete shit.
I bet they all kind of have.
Oh, I mean, it just went woke as fuck. It's awful.
Yeah.
Oh man,
and it was one of the
later
later
TV in years.
First 2 seasons were good, and then it just went shit.
Yeah, it's got Scott Bakula in it, doesn't it? From Quantum Leap. He's the lead bloke, Scott Bakula.
Yeah, the old guy. Yeah.
I'm showing my age here. Yes, the old guy. Thanks, Kel's the old guy.
Yeah, that's him.
He's fantastic. Have you guys seen Quantum Leap?
No.
Oh,
No.
That's a beautiful show. First show that ever made me cry watching TV. After you watch a couple of seasons of it, and there's this big like tragedy where somebody gives up something really important to help others, and you're just like, you know, I'm just like young fella. I'm not crying. Fuck off! I'm not crying. Shut up.
I can't judge. I cry during stupid shit.
I cry when Boromir dies at the end of Lord of the Rings.
I cried during King Kong, and
Wow.
I cried during the Simpsons movie when they break up. Marge leaves him, and then it's like on their video. She leaves a video for him for Homer, and he's watching it. And then as her recording stops, it goes all fuzzy, and you see Homer's face in the screen on the TV. And I swear, man, it breaks my fucking heart.
Kels is over there. Gets crying. He's like, I'm reading that horses up in Queensland. I'm not fucking crying over anything. You fucking.
Oh, I'm the worst, man. I cried through so much shit. I'm the worst.
Yeah. It's good that we're sensitive new age guys. Because when the SJW hordes come for us, that's what's going to save us is the fact that we feel feelings.
Nothing's going to save us.
No, nothing. We're toxic males, toxic masculinity.
And white. Yeah,
well, that's right. Yeah. I mean, if you go back far enough, there's, I think like my great grandfather's Aboriginal or something. But I mean, you can't really tell. Some people sort of ask, but you can't really tell. They say, "Oh, you got Indigenous heritage." I'm like, if you go back far enough, there's a little bit, but I couldn't tell you his name or anything about him. And I'm kind of everyone just thinks I've got a tan, so actually, I kind of don't look too far from the guy. If you take the guy in the photo and cross him with Jason Momoa's hair and beard, you're getting like a. That's not too far off, actually.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Your avatar looks like the guy. What's that Aussie show with the guy who always shakes a hand with a black guy?
Yeah, Russell Coit.
That's it.
Yeah, that's half of what I base the whole. If at the end of some of my older videos, there's always like a Russell Coit cameo. I was spicing him in there because he just cracks me up, man. It's just.
Did you watch the latest season?
No.
They brought it back, and they done another season. Oh, it's funny as hell.
It's very, very flat deadpan humor. Like, it's very dry. Like, he'll say something, and the humor is the discomfort other people have at his incompetence. And they're just like, he's supposed to be this, like, hard outback survival expert, and he just does the dumbest stuff ever. And he'll say something. He's like the unreliable narrator. He'll say something, and he'll narrate over top of it. But what's actually happening is the opposite of what he's talking about. It cracks me up. It's good stuff. I haven't had a proper TV connection for probably going on 12 years now. I don't have like the TV plugged in. I've got Netflix and a bunch of DVDs and stuff, but I don't have like digital TV or free to air or Foxtel. So there's nothing I can like. People, have you seen that new ad? I haven't seen an ad in about 12 years. I don't. And I don't miss it. I get so much more done. You know, so people go, I'll just sit down and watch this in the Arvo, I'll sit down and watch this at night time, or just flip on I'm just bored. I'll flip through the channels and see what's on. Okay. Or you could go write 2,000 words on your latest book or comic or whatever, or you could draw another page of forests, Dean. All those leaves.
Yeah. No, don't worry. You know what I've been doing?
What's that?
I filled it with fog.
Nice.
Yep.
Fog's so much easier than leaves.
Yep. Half trees now. You get some like tree stumps coming up and then disappearing into fog.
I can see that. That works. I can see that.
Yeah, it's
You have
working
to
really well.
you have to show us some of your pages when you get them tight. Just in the boys chat. Just in our secret whisper network.
Oh yeah.
Where we plot the demise of nobody.
Yeah, I'll send you a photo later of what I'm actually working on today. It's all pencils still, so no inks, but you'll definitely recognize it. You'll know exactly what it is.
Yeah, cool.
And don't worry, Cal, it's not going to spoil anything.
Better not.
It's literally what I'm working on today. I think it's page 2 or 3 of the story. I don't know.
Already.
So there's lots of forests.
It's the opening scene. It's the opening scene. So it's Cass by himself running through the trees.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
I get the whole not wanting to spoil it, but at the same time, like I really want to make editing and being like a developmental editor for people's ComicsMATE projects to be a goal for myself. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and be aware that I'll be seeing some version of the finished product before the finished product comes out. Like I don't read for enjoyment much anyway these days. Anyway, it's always reading it with a critical eye. So I suppose it's just an extension of that. But I'd love for one day people to say, I've got this script or this idea. I'm not sure about it. Where to go with it. I want to hotbox it. I want to workshop it. I want to get some feedback. I want to bounce some ideas off someone. So, Lee, he's real good at that sort of thing. Like he's a good ideas guy. Come at him and just bounce it back and forward. Send him what you got. He'll go through and suggest some ideas. I used to do this sort of stuff online all the time. People have an idea and you just throw out 5 or 6 directions they can go in.
Feel any better? There's a lot of different things in my book that weren't in my script that I'm just including. Like, remember how it said include a lot of wildlife and animals? Like, obviously, I've been putting those wildlife and animals in those panels.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like that. Like, for example, the very first page. Okay, so it's not a spoiler at all. Right, you remember how it's the 4 panels, and you got overlooking the forest, and then the lightning strike?
Yep.
Well, as the first panels, right, as they get darker, right, because it's sunset, right, I didn't mention that in the book, like in the script, but it's sunset, so they get darker and darker, and when the lightning strikes, it lights up the whole page, and there's a tree right in the foreground, like right up close, as opposed to everything else. And when the lightning strikes and lights up the whole panel, you can see a spider on the tree that otherwise you couldn't have seen because it was hidden in complete black ink. So there are little things like that you should really enjoy. Even though you know the story, as you're reading the book for real, they weren't in the script. Just little things that.
Something I found when I was getting pages back from my artist, he just put little things in there I never even thought of. There's a scene where two of the company men go into a police station to try and get time to interrogate somebody who's been taken, arrested and put in the cell there. And the outside establishing shop, there's bullet holes in the lamppost across the street. So it's like you're seeing the cameras across the street from the police station. You're seeing the 2 guys go up the steps into this little dinky police station in Nigeria somewhere, and there's bullet holes in the lamppost. It just makes you realize somebody was shooting outside of a police station. This is not a safe place. This is not a safe country. That's not something I considered at all, but I did want it to be obvious that it was a dinky little place and it wasn't high tech or anything. And it's just like a brick building or a dung building.
Wasn't in the script.
Wasn't in the script at all. I don't think of that sort of stuff, honestly. So a good artist, they're storytellers as well, and you cannot underestimate how important they are. And then when there's the torture scene, he's got all these implements laying around. He's got these hooks and chains from the roof, and he's got these
famous thing that's going to get you banned.
There's other stuff that'll get me banned, but that's I won't even get past that. I don't reckon that's in the first 30 pages.
Shit.
You got these big blowflies coming across the camera to show that unsanitary conditions and these sticky patches of blood on the floor. It's just like, man, this guy is just he's just next level. Yeah, very fortunate to have hooked up with him. Then I felt really guilty when he had to send me an email yesterday and said I haven't been paid. I'm like, oh. But like every spare cent I got's going towards this. So if something comes up that I'm not counting on, like some bill or some expense, if I get a speeding ticket or whatever, it's like I got to put it back a week. And he's like, well, this is my income, man. I'm relying on this. So I don't know. I think people look at ComicsMATE projects and other indie projects and sort of really critical and thumb their nose at it. But for some of us, we're just working this out for the first time. I mean, this is every spare cent I've got. I I haven't bought a new game. I don't like my only
Well, I
expenditure
can't
really.
think of anyone other than Michael. Other than besides me, other than Michael, I can't think of anyone that can do it by themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a business for everyone involved. Everyone has to pay someone else, or they're hiring an artist, or they're hiring a writer.
Yeah, even Ethan has to hire.
Or they're getting hired. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And hell, if I end up with a big successful book, the first thing I will do is hire a colorer and a letterist. A letterer and a colorist. I mean, it's the first thing I'll do.
Yeah, stuff looks good.
Looks pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, good anatomy. Have you tried flipping it, doing like the horizontal flip? You flip it left to right.
Just hang on a sec.
You're saying I found out about years ago at art school. I mean, I graduated art school, but I'm not. Like I said before, drawing a comic book is different than drawing a picture. I can draw a picture. I can copy almost anything you put in front of me. I can draw a picture, come up with a design, character designs, whatever. But doing sequential artwork, panel by panel, all the different angles, all the different perspective. I mean, I've seen some of the roughs my guy sends me, and the perspective lines will make your eyes cross, make your head spin. The amount of work it puts into getting everything sitting just right. I feel bad for writing this complex shit for him, where you got one character standing on a building, another one down in a town square, standing on a podium behind bulletproof glass, and he's got all these construction lines everywhere. I'm like, you poor bastard. I hope it's worth the pesos you earn.
Yeah, well, I try not to think about that at all. When I'm writing, I just, I'm picturing it in my head as if it's actually a movie or something. It's moving in my head,
Yeah.
So, and then I figure out how I'm going to draw it later.
That's how
I just don't think about it at all.
Yeah, I see it like more like a cartoon, because the pictures are like cartoon animated, but it's like a movie in my head. Kels, did you see that bloke I sent you? I know you did. He's got that real sketchy. It's almost like
I had a look. There's a lot of different artists on that hashtag. Nobody artist or something. There's heaps on there.
That's a good place for people to find. I like this stuff. Is because I've also got like a vigilante sort of bloke. Wait, knock it off. It's too loud. He's building this super complex jungle network of dinosaurs over here on the floor. It's like 4 meters by 4 meters, just dinosaurs everywhere. So in landmine. But that's the sort of stuff I think would work really well for a gritty sort of back alley. Like yours is, I don't know, how much do you want to talk about? Like your book? Can I say it's like, yes, it's got like a John Wick tone. So it's sort of like Kel stuff.
Yeah, he's the first book's will set him up, and the second book is where the full character you'll really get to see who he is. But the first
book
be 50 to 60 pages.
Nice.
So the first book you'll get an insight to his life, and you'll get an insight to what his sort of background is without knowing it. So it'll give you a little of a taste of what he's capable of, but it won't give it all away. So there's nothing left to explore later on. It'll just, each book you'll explore more of his character and more of his background. But yeah, the first book will just sort of set up his character, set up the city around him, and set up, everything else to why he becomes the character who he is. And so book one will kind of be like how Ethan did his Cyberfrog. Like you got part one and part two, so it's like two books in one. So the second part of book one will be even more action than what there was in the first part. So Lee's read the first 30 pages. So the amount of action in that, there's more action than that in the next part of the book. So
you're gonna want someone who can do action, like this. The artist that I sent you that link to, I think it would suit what I'm doing perfectly, because mine's like really gritty. If you imagine like the Wire crossed with the Shield, crossed with Punisher, like real gritty sort of street level. Walk up to some guy, say what's that? He turns, you pop a couple of bullets in it, or a knife in the ribs, and drag him into an alleyway and torture him, sort of thing. Like it's really grimy street level stuff. Whereas John Wick, that scene in the catacombs underneath the city in the second one, where he's got he's got the shotgun and that waiting for him.
Yeah.
I've seen all of them, but at that point I was just sitting there, just like, this is glorious. It's just like 100 guys running out, just pop, 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 pop. I love the way that he'll shoot him in the leg, and as they go down, he shoots him in the head, and then he'll shoot through someone or grab someone and hold them and use them as a shield while he shoots someone. Then he throws that guy down, shoots him in the head. If you're doing that sort of stuff, you don't want someone who does gritty alleyways. You want someone who does big flips and action. That's what you should be looking at. So that recommendation I gave you probably doesn't suit your stuff so much. You probably want someone who can do more that really frenetic, almost manga type style in terms of the speed to draw. Like if you got one panel where he's shooting 3 people at once because he's that quick, you need someone who can draw that either in quick succession or can cram it all into one panel with movement lines to make it. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
That's really what you say. I suppose when you're looking for an artist, it's not just someone who can do good anatomy or good backgrounds or make the characters look like the characters. You got to say, is there someone who can do action really well? I know there's one point in my book where I said to the guy, I want 2 pages of a fight here where they use their powers to fight off these guys that are got the drop on them. And now, because there's a language barrier there, and I didn't say specifically I want this guy to shoot lasers and this guy to teleport over here. I just said just have 2 pages where they're using their powers, which are this and this. He did a 2-page spread. So there's all this talk, all this like build up of like, hey, screw you guys, we're tough, no, we're tougher. And then there's a 2-page spread, just like one big pin-up of them taking out all the guys, and then it wraps up and they're talking again. So, but what I wanted was 2 pages of slogging through it, like a punch here, a kick there, a shot there, a backflip there. But I didn't write that stuff. I just sort of said to him, look, instead of me telling you how the fight should go, you just make up a cool fight, which is me leaning really heavy on the artist. But what if I tell him to do stuff and it doesn't work for him? I'd rather give him that freedom.
Yeah.
So even though it's a cool 2-page spread, it's going to look amazing when it's colored. I've got a guy there that's got like heat-based powers, flame-based powers. And whenever he uses these powers, you can see his skeleton come through his skin, which it just look fantastic when I get the colorist to color the skeleton really bright, so it stands out high contrast with the rest of him. So it's going to see like this flaming skeleton within this human shell of ash and cinders and fire. It's going to look fantastic.
That is awesome.
Yeah. But I wanted a panel fight of these guys. There's like 6 bad guys with Uzis or whatever, and they've got the good guys have got their powers. There's 2 of them. I wanted to show them using their powers to overwhelm these guys methodically. Instead, I got a 2-page boom, which it looks amazing, and the angle on it's fantastic. I'm very happy with it. But I realized that's my shortcoming as a writer. I need to be more specific about that. And again, I did write this script for myself. I had every intention of drawing it myself, and I got a few pages done, but I got like 3 pages planned in 2 years. It just wasn't happening. Now, turning, I'm paying some guy for it. But up to he's doing pages 36 to 40, 36, 37, 38. I can't count. 36, 37, 38, 39. Yeah. Bloody hell. Can't count past 5. Had to take my shoes off for that one. Yeah, he's doing pages 36 to 40. I mean, that's if I go 60 pages, 3 lots of 60 pages, make it 3 books, I'm 2/3 of the way there. That's nuts. I could have this thing crowdfunded by the end of the year.
Being too that like this is my first book that I've ever written, when it comes to getting an artist, I sort of want an artist that is open to having their own freedom to do things how they think will suit best as well.
I found that to be a big advantage with my guy. I given him the freedom. He said, "Thanks so much for the freedom." Yeah.
So like you talk to some where they want panel by panel by panel and big descriptions. I feel like just because it's my first one and I'm no expert, if I have an artist that's a bit more experienced and a bit more knows how a scene might, if I say I want this scene to do this and they say it might be better if we do it that way, it's just something extra that it's going to be able to help me do it. Whereas I think if you only, for myself being new, and you get an artist that just wants panel by panel by panel, it's relying solely on my input and my writing. Whereas you get an artist that wants the freedom to do their own thing, they might have better suggestions on how to draw a scene than how I've laid it out. So it's like, yeah, you know, do your thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to tie them up too much. There's that page of script I think we looked at from Red Team by Ennis, and it was panel by panel exactly what we wanted.
Check out our messages. Check out our messages.
Oh, will do.
Right now.
And it was panel by panel, and it was just so prescriptive. That's looking good. That's you really do know what you're doing. And some people say they can draw, like, oh yeah, I'm a heaps good drawer, I can draw comics. You're like, yeah, cool, man, cool. And I've seen your pinups and stuff, and I know that you can draw, but to see the sequential stuff, to see that look on his face, just in that top panel there, and then the motion, yeah, it's just spot on. You've just absolutely nailed that. And even the way the hair moves and the motion on the hair, and I can tell where you're putting your X's for your inks. Like, you know where light placement needs to go. You clearly do know what you're doing. And then that
as well.
Was that?
I just sent another one through. That one's actually already inked, but not colored.
Okay. Look at all those trees, you absolute mad lad.
Have you cut down every tree, bush, and shrub in your house just so you don't go into fits?
Not yet. Luckily, I can't see any of them from my window, so.
I had to do my head income.
Yeah, and I'm going to add the lightning when I do the color, rather than have any solid lines for the lightning. And I'll add, I'm not sure yet, what do you reckon? A lizard, a snake, or a spider on that tree in the third panel?
I think lizard or spider would fit better. Snake's got potential, like, serpent and Garden of Eden connotations if you want to get all symbolic about it. But I think
I just want something creepy.
I think probably spider's scarier, but lizard would curve around the trunk a bit better.
Either way, I'll work on that.
Yeah, it looks
Those
fantastic.
are the pages I am currently working on.
Mad lad. So, have you got any sort of ETA and when you think, excuse me, when you think it's going to be wrapping up? Probably a bit hard to tell at this point.
Right now, I'm not too sure. It really depends on how quickly I can end up coloring them all. But I know for a fact that 6 months from now, book 1 will be ready. And
now, if you can do that sort of, if you can keep flipping them every sort of 6-ish months, that's a big ask. It's probably a full-time job in itself. But if you could do that,
that's the plan.
That pace. Yeah, that's impressive. Because some of these big European artists that do these big, like, collections, they only put out one a year, one every second year, and live off that. And I think that's a big problem a lot of people have is the wait in between issues. I mean, like, what was I'm just picking Graveyard Shift because it's something I haven't read yet, and it's got a really good, solid look to it. Like, it looks like a good, solid, colourful team book. Anytime I see art for it, it stands out. What was the gap between that? Was it like a year?
I think so, because the first one came out long before I even knew what CG was.
There you go. So it's are people willing? This is my problem. Are people going to wait a year? It'll take me, when my guy gets started, he gets started at the beginning of the year. So we've got roughly 40 pages done in 6 months. But that's a big part of that is I can only pay him when I can pay him. So there's times where I've said, look, I have to postpone and do a double payment next time, or just push it back. And I've got to pay the colorist.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah. I'm trying to make sure he's taken care of every week or every pay cycle. But sometimes I just don't have it, and I just say, look, I'll get you as soon as I get paid. He said, yes, no problem. But then he won't. Fair enough. He won't start the next slot until he got paid for the previous, which I can understand, because even though I've paid him every time up till now, and he's guaranteed work for the rest of this book and for the next 3 sequels of the story, you start having a culture of, oh well, I'll just do free work from you. You don't know if you're going to be taken advantage of. You start that where's it in. So I want to make sure.
For a company or something.
What's that?
Like, if you're just working for some guy, you're not working for a company or anything, you really don't know what's going to happen.
That's right. I mean, if I've had this thought, if I walk out and get hit by a bus and he's just like, Lee, where am I in? Where's my pay? What's happening with your story? Like, my wife doesn't know how to get into my emails and that. You know, she won't be able to contact this guy and say, "Oh, look, you know, he's died." And because there's this guy I know, a good mate of mine, he 2 weeks ago found out he got cancer. They see it's too advanced. He can't do anything. He can't even give you chemo. And then a week and a half later, he was dead.
Holy shit!
Just like that. And he wasn't even. He'd be 50. You know. So he's a bit older than me, but he's like a real father figure to me in a lot of ways. And he's just here today, gone tomorrow, and he's just a really cool dude. And you wouldn't think he's got a wife and kids and his whole life ahead of him, you know. And it just happened that quick. You don't know. So if I'm dead next week or the week after, how's this guy in Portugal or whatever gonna know what's happened to me and gonna know what to do with this? It won't matter to me. I'll be dead, but yeah, he'll be out of a pay packet. And he'll be cursing on the email saying, "Where are you? Where have you disappeared to?" But it would have to be something like that because I've sunk so much money into it now that if I was to stop, I'd only stop because I was dead. Even if I had huge cash flow problems and I couldn't afford to pay him, I'd say, "Look, I can't afford to pay you. Put it on hold. I'll get back to you when I can." He's got all the original artwork, which I'm gonna buy off him eventually. Anyway, I'm hoping that the do like what a lot of people do and have some original artwork pieces in the campaign, particularly for the good action scenes and that.
I've got a couple of posters and stuff ready. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of all the tchotchkes, all the. I know other people seem to like it, but stickers and decals and magnets and bookmarks, and I just doesn't. I don't know.
I like bookmarks. Bookmarks are always useful.
I think, Kels, you had some of those metal bookmarks from that White Widow, didn't you? They looked really good.
Yeah, they look pretty cool. I don't know if I'd do it for my own.
Yeah.
It's cool, but I probably wouldn't use them in a book in case you rip the page.
Yeah, and it's just an extra expense. You know?
I would do a normal bookmark, like just a regular old cardboard bookmark.
Yeah, if I was going to do a bookmark, I'd just do a regular cardboard one. Cardboard bookmarks and stickers.
Yeah, see, stickers are good. Like, I put stickers all over my desk and my computer and everything, so stickers are good.
I guess I'd have to get like some quotes and sort of see how much, if you're printing with these guys, say, look, we'll do 1,000 bookmarks for it. Fucking hell. Do your 1,000 bookmarks for $10 or whatever, or something, some crazy small price because you're printing with them. Sure, chuck that in. But sometimes I see people put these stretch goals in. I think, like, I don't know, are you covering everything? I'm gonna have to be 5 figures just to recoup the money I've put into this book. I've said before, I'm not planning on getting that money back. That is dead money. That's money I've paid to invest in creating this book, and then that will seed future books. I'm not planning on doing back.
You are, and
yeah. So, if I can get, I don't know, 50K, then you start looking at some extras maybe. But right now I'm just trying to cover the printing costs and the shipping costs, and then have enough money to get a big jump start on the next one.
How do we work out the shipping cost? How do you work that into your goal?
I don't know.
It gets added. Do something in Indiegogo. I'm pretty sure they, like, when you set it up, you'll tell them where you're sending it from, and then it'll do like a calculation thing for you.
You must be able to override it because Stephen K did free Australian shipping for Terra Olympus.
Yeah.
So
because that's what I was trying to work out. Like, you do your shipping from Australia to the US, and then you got to try and work that out on top of in your goal and stuff, and it's like, geez.
Yeah.
Well, $5,000 seems like the average amount, that people ask for. And I know that that's not how much it costs to print something.
Is that high or low?
Way lower. Like, to print something is way lower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can print I can't remember the exact number, but it was like 1,000 books or something for about $2,000.
Yeah, that's not much at all. But like, if I only make $5,000 on my campaign, it wasn't worth doing it, because not only is it not enough to seed the next book, but it's not even I would like to recoup the costs. I don't think it's going to necessarily happen. Like, I'm not counting on it. I think the book's good enough to do it, but I'm not counting on it because I've seen great books get ignored before. And that's no one's fault. That's, some people just don't market. All they do is just hit retweet from the Indiegogo page and hope that does the job.
I
I've
think
said-
Terra could have done a lot better if he had gone on some YouTube channels and done
Who's
that
that?
whole thing, you know. Terra Olympus, FK?
Yeah. He
Yeah,
he did some.
No, but I
remember
mean,
he's
he could have
done-
done a lot better on Terra Olympus specifically.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just doing on my calculator now. Say if your art, you get an artist that's doing $50 a page for pencil and inks.
That's cheap.
And that's like, so let's say if we do, say if your art per page with just your colours, pencils and inks, no letters, say if it works out to about $150 Australian dollars for say
really
60 for
That's
60
really cheap.
for 60 pages, that would cost me 9,000 Australian dollars just in the art
Yeah.
alone.
I am so glad I can draw for myself. Holy shit.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, we're happy for you too, man. It's real good. It's real good. Congratulations.
You know, so the way I'm looking at least a 15 grand goal at least.
Yeah.
You know.
And this is what CG's been talking about for a while, is that the current system doesn't work. He shouldn't have to be on there flogging people's campaigns in the last couple of hours, tagging a bunch of people who, quite frankly, don't retweet because their campaigns are really healthy, and once they've climbed over people, they don't always see the need to help boost other people. If there's some, you've got Indicron, but people just don't seem to go to it. It doesn't seem to be known, and it's not that easy to browse through. I feel like it's all there, and I don't go there to look for new campaigns. I tend to just find new campaigns on Twitter. I would love eventually to have enough money to be able to see projects I like and help get them off the ground. So here's some seed money to get your first 10, 20 pages, whatever, depending on the size of the book. Get it up and running, get it coloured, get it on Indiegogo, potentially even publish it under my own, as like either an imprint from my company or under my own company or through my own company. I could handle that side of things. I know,
like Alternative does.
Yeah, and it's also similar to something that Liam was talking about a while ago, and I don't know how high on his priority list this is anymore, because this stuff's really kicking off with Xenotype, and he's got another project. I don't know where his head's in with that, but he was talking about, establishing Australian publisher and that sort of thing. I'd love to be able to see something like Curl's book and go, that's fantastic. Here's a couple of grand. Here's hook you up with some artists and that. You pick who you think you can work with. Let's get some colour happening. Let's start showing some character turnaround, some headshots, some little plot details, some panels, some pages. Get people hyped for it. Have this 50K come in. I don't know what sort of, if I take a percentage or they just take back the money that I'd seeded into it. But the idea would be to build this base. I got mates online that I know have got really good stories. I just don't have the drive or the cash to find an artist and make it happen, but they're fantastic 4-issue, 6-issue miniseries that could be pushed together to make a graphic novel, or it could be clumped together to make 2 or 3 book arcs or something. And I think it's just a shame they'll never be seen. They'll never be read by anybody but me and the other 4 or 5 people in our little writing group. It's a shame that it's just some fantastic. Was that, mate?
Life gets in the way sometimes, man. That shit happens to everyone.
It does, and not everybody. Like, I'm a little bit older, so I've got, I've been through uni. I've done my so many years, whatever years it was, and I've got the job I got, and I'm able to, I earn what I earn, so I have got money left over after the mortgage, after everything, that I can turn around and drop a couple of $100 every week on an artist. Somebody who's 20, 25 might not be able to do that. Somebody who's 30 might not even be able to do that. He might not be in a position.
I can ever do is 100.
There you go. Whereas,
I try to do about 100 a week whenever I go into backing anything. I've got about $100 to spend that week.
See, I'm dropping money on an artist on top of all the books that I back, and you guys know I back quite a few books.
I have no extra money ever.
Yeah. So I'm housewife, kids, 2 cars, dogs, paying for comic, and because I'm a grown up and I've got grown up money, and I can do that. I couldn't do that 10 years ago.
I just want to let you guys know I'm sitting here listening to every word that you're saying.
And I think you're a pack of fucking maggots. We love you, CG. We love you, bro.
I switched everything over to my art station, man, and I've just been listening away.
Well,
nothing's happened. This other computer's just a fucking pile of garbage.
I think it's the first time I've streamed with you, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is
well,
very first time. But I'm listening to everything that you guys are saying, man, and we got to figure out something different because this Indiegogo is. I don't like it. I see a lot of guys. They can't really, get out there and build their platforms and all that bullshit up. I mean, how many platforms can be?
Do you know what we need? We need someone who is on YouTube who has a platform who isn't trying to shill his own books. Like a ComicsMATE YouTuber who is just there to be on YouTube and, do the whole YouTube shit.
Yeah.
We used to have those guys, but they turned into just YouTubers. Right?
Yeah, new generation.
Yeah, we need to get next gen going.
And the tricky thing is, to get someone who'll do that, do they start off with a different gimmick until they get big enough to switch over to it, or do they start with that gimmick from the beginning? If they do, that's a really slow crawl. I've been sitting on 30 subscribers for about 2 months now. Like there's just no movement there. I put out only a video a week because that's all I can manage. But there's just and everybody who's watched my videos and talked to me about them say, you're a really good reviewer. You bring a really unique perspective. You're really critical about it. You're not so much funny as you are insightful. Like you're bringing that. It's like if somebody wanted to critique a movie or an artwork or something or a piece of literature, I try to do it that way. I try to do it really critically. And that's the feedback I'm getting. But nobody wants to hear it. I'm not dunking on the SJWs. I'm not Zach. I'm not Ethan. I'm not seeing any growth. I'd like to be the sort of guy that could have other people come on, and I think I can talk and I could interview. I've tried to line up some interviews with people. People just aren't interested. It's either your platform's too small or this is the thing, they couldn't be fucked. They just couldn't be bothered. I had this one guy doing this SJW book. It's literally called SJW. And I was lining up for an interview and he was all keen and I haven't heard back from him. And I don't want to hassle him. I've hit him up a couple of times. He's like, yeah, it sounds good. And I said, I'll send you the questions beforehand. I don't want you to feel ambushed. Like, obviously, it's a pretty spicy topic you've got going on there. I think it'd be a good chance for you to expose what your perspective is to other people, because some people could take it the wrong way. Some people will spite by it. Some people will cringe by it. But I actually think he's probably got a more middle-of-the-road attitude, but it's not showing through in the campaign. And I wanted to highlight that to get him a bit of exposure. Because I was wondering about that. Yeah, it's never eventuated. I've managed to track him down on Instagram. I said, "What's up?" and he seemed okay with it. And like I said, and I said, you can see the final cut before it goes out. Like, I'm not gonna. We can either do like a final cut with your approval, or we can have my cut and then have the unedited one on the same channel so that people can see. Because there's going to be some fluff. There's going to be some dead air. I'd cut that out, but I wouldn't truncate any of his answers or anything. Had a bunch of questions. Ambush him is the point. I'm not looking to gotcha anyone. I'm just trying to be. I don't want to use the word journalist, but I'm just trying to be straight about it. And I think people just don't want to be bothered. They think, I'll just put it out there and see what I can get. Maybe they are happy with $5,000, but I'm not. I want to get concept.
I'm not happy. If I wait 6 months and make $5,000, it means I have to go back and drive a forklift again.
That's it, man.
It means book 2 will get released in my spare time, which means it'll take a year for book 2 to come out, which means no one will know what happened to Noah.
Yeah, it's not good enough. So, and like CG's saying, building that platform, there's so many platforms, I don't think it can be done anymore. I think maybe what we're seeing is a conglomerate where people are moving together to create joint platforms. I think Michael was...
Well, let me say something here. I think that can still be done. It's just like with the platform that I started out building. You guys wouldn't. I mean, you probably. I don't know if you guys even fucking pay attention or not. But the amount of shit that I get tagged in, that also has Ethan Van Sciver tagged in, is crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, with this whole microphone and the streaming thing, it's really thrown a wrench into things, right? I mean, I felt paralyzed here, but people do know that I'm serious about promoting ComicsMATE. And that's why I've got you guys in here too, because you guys are next gen ComicsMATE. You're not this silly bullshit that we've been seeing over the past, few weeks with Liam and Micah and EBS and all this stuff. You guys are next gen. You guys are going to be the ones that's going to carry the mantle of CG forward, not these fucking guys just out here. Like I said earlier, self-validating males, which is the worst motherfuckers to be around.
Yeah, the more you got to say it, the less true it is. If you go around saying I'm this big tough guy with a big dick, it's probably not true.
I mean, it's just there's a lot of dudes here in my area that are like that, and I just can't. It just sickens me. It just sickens me. But you got a lot of that going on, and all these guys were the same fucking guys that were going around, 2 years ago saying, well, you got EVS running in his mouth about how boys need to be raised, and then everybody's like high T this and the industry's low T, and you just sit here and you just listen to all that bullshit. Then you see how they act, and they act just as it just sounds so cliche. Yeah, they do. They do. They need praise. They need self-validation. They need their little circle to get on Twitter all day long. Instead of promoting ComicsGate, they need people to come in and tell them how fucking great they are. So you got, I don't know how many different fucking circle jerks going on out there, and it's just disgusting, man. It's just ridiculous. And nobody, these fucking guys, when I started this platform, I was tagging all these guys in am I getting loud? I'm getting worked up, dude. I'm fired up right now.
Keep going, it's all right.
Okay, so when I first started all this, right, everybody's like, great, CG World Order and all this. And so I started tagging guys, trying to get these guys to just retweet these small campaigns out there on Twitter. You guys have seen where we've gotten guys funded just on Twitter.
Yeah, in a couple of hours, we've had thousands of dollars flooding into
Yeah. And none of these fucking guys, Adam Post, Liam Gray, Micah, Ethan Van Sciver, none of these fucking guys would retweet anything. But you tag a whole bunch, and this was Willie's Canadian and Indian cuisine. This is what the thing from the video. So that's War Campaign's restaurant. You tag War Campaign guys, and regardless of how you feel about them, they love ComicsGate, and you tag every one of those guys in a promotion, and they're throwing it out there all over Twitter. But these other fucking guys, Micah, I think he only follows 90 people. 90 people.
That says something.
Yes. And he has probably, I think last I saw, 2,000 or 3,000 followers. And so this fucking guy's he's just here for himself. All these guys are here for themselves. And now you look at like Graded .5, Red Gaze, and who are some others, man? I'm really dropping the ball on these guys. Shay, Red Valkyrie.
Red Valkyrie.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're just out there every night promoting ComicsGate books.
Yeah, even a few war campaigners like Rosetta has a weekly thing where she lets people on. Yeah, she's a war campaigner.
Yeah, absolutely. And God bless her.
Her YouTube every week, she gets people on every week.
She has a lot of health issues that she is dealing with, and my heart really goes out to her because she's in excruciating pain a lot of the time. And when you watch her on her shows, if you don't know this, she really doesn't show it. But if you know this, you can kind of see that she's struggling with it. She fights through it. But and I've seen her. She sells books, man. She sells books on streams. And
I talk to her occasionally, and I'm looking forward to her book. She's doing some art book and some photography book as well, and I want to see both of them.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that she can color and stuff, and it's just. But you got the loudmouths out there.
Because she's a color artist.
Yeah, she's great. But it's like when I first started talking to Liam. He's all about promoting the CG Australia. Well, where is that? Where is that?
Yeah.
That was 3 fucking months ago. Where is that at?
I mean, I don't know about Liam. Like, Liam will repost things and he'll retweet shit if you ask him to and stuff like that. But then his show has become such a shit show that I don't think he even has control of it anymore.
No, he doesn't, man. He wasn't made for that. He could have just said, I'm owning all this, and there's nothing you motherfuckers can do. And that's what you gotta do, man. You just gotta own it. I don't know why he's stressed. If you own it, you're untouchable. Absolutely untouchable. People respect that. Yeah. But these guys are self-validating males, man. You know, these how many females do we have in how many female YouTubers and creators do we have in ComicsMATE? So there's a lot of them. A lot of them. Who's causing all the fucking drama? Right? It's all fucking men. All these weak ass men causing all this fucking drama. This is Facebook drama. This is Facebook drama that I see my family partaking in. These fucking rednecks here in Kentucky do the same shit that these motherfucking men in Ethan and Liam and Micah. Oh, I'm not gonna start another campaign because my numbers are down. Shut up, dude. Grow some fucking balls. If you want to start a campaign while you're still funding another one, go fucking do it. If your shit is good, it will sell.
Liam's made more than $100,000.
Yeah.
You made like 100. You should be fine.
I don't understand what these fucking.
Most of these guys are in a position that I would fucking kill to have.
I know, man. And that's what I was talking about. Like my dog, I gave him that big jar of peanut butter today. Micah is not happy with his peanut butter. He should be happy with this fucking jar of peanut butter and just showing that shit off. Like, this is what I done. These fucking guys are all prima donnas. They think they're better than what they are. And they came in, they skirted in here on the coattails of Ethan Van Sciver, thinking that they're going to just skyrocket to nothing. Todd McFarlane did not start out drawing fucking Spawn. Okay, the first thing I seen him draw was a shitty G.I. Joe comic book. I don't know what he did before that. I didn't even know that was Todd McFarlane. But that motherfucker hung in there and worked his ass off every day. And then now he throws, we're going to do a new Spawn figure. And we're going to throw it up on Kickstarter. And he makes over $1 million. Right? That's what he wanted to do.
It was a remake of the original one.
Yeah.
It's not even a new one.
We're just going to reuse these old molds. Everybody will like it. And they did. They didn't give a fuck. They just got on there and just threw money at it. It's like, yeah, give us some more of these. Where's the medieval Spawn from the series 1? That's what I want. I would support that. But, fucking Spawn sucks anyway. But look, and Ethan came in. He's got, 30-some years, 25, 30. I don't know how many fucking years. He's been out there for decades doing this shit. And Mike is on here complaining that the numbers are down for his fucking werewolf versus fucking Knights Templar bullshit. Right? Fucking come up with a better product, put it out there, and people will fucking buy it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So right. No, you're right, man. I don't disagree with anything you just said.
That's why I like you guys.
Yeah, you want to say something, Cal?
I'm just listening. Just eating my popcorn.
Don't want to get yourself in trouble.
Nah, man. Oh, here, I wanted to say about the badges. It doesn't matter which one I pick, because everything that I pick, Callaway doesn't like it. So I was going to say, like, the one on the bottom, the middle one, that's the one I would have picked. Just the simple two-tone, because you can throw textures and different colors and shit like that. But you guys are like, I like the black one. I like this one. Fuck CG. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't, man. I live in Kentucky, dude. I mean, I'm surrounded by, I got fucking West Virginia inbreds right across the river. I don't know what I'm talking about. I see lizards and spiders every day trying to get in my house.
We have that down here too.
Every day.
Honorary Australian, I reckon.
Yeah, but the lizards and spiders here aren't very scary. They're just annoying. So it makes it even worse. Sorry, guys.
You're uncharacteristically quiet, Lee.
Oh, I sent a little message just there in the private chat. I just had to go get the kids something to eat. I haven't come over, and please, sir, can I have some more Oliver Twist type action? So yeah, I'm sorting out some images. Yeah, I'm back now.
We need to get into shops is what we got to do.
What's that, mate?
We need to get into shops is what we got to do.
Shocks.
Well, yeah. Shops.
Stores.
Yeah, well,
talk to your local comic shop. That's what I did. I've got 2 shops that are both going to take some books when I have them printed.
I had a local comic book shop, and then Marvel flooded the shelves, and after 27 years in business, they shut down.
I honestly said, one of my local shops, I have no idea how they're still fucking open.
I mean, I've been going to this place since I was 12 years old, and I found out, I think, halfway through last year. Just found out they shut down. End of an era, and it's the only it's in the Hunter Valley. It's the only one for till Sydney. Like we've got to go to Sydney for a comic book shop now.
Yeah, fucking hell. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I have to drive 15 minutes out of town.
That's not so bad.
Yeah. But question: Black and White by Art. I'm pretty sure it's Art.
Yeah.
Yep. It's Art. Black and White. How did he get a Greg Capullo cover?
Well,
I've been trying to work it out too.
Oh, he's a pro.
Greg Capullo is like my favorite. If you look at any of Greg Capullo's stuff and then you look at something of mine, you'd be like, oh yeah, Dean learned how to draw eyes or he learned how to draw hands from watching Greg Capullo.
Yeah, I can see that in the kid's face on the page that you posted. Because Capullo is always he's always drawing little kids in Spawn because there's always like, you know, Billy Kincaid and all that sort of stuff. Like there's always
actually some of my favorite issues of Spawn are like the Christmas special that just has the kids and the monsters.
So he's got these really cartoony, big-eyed kids, and I can see elements of it. I haven't seen a lot of his Batman stuff. I knew him more when he was doing Spawn with it really gribbly, really detailed.
Spawn was some of my first comic books when I was a little kid.
Mm.
Yeah, you can really tell when you've seen him draw like something massive. It's like, oh yeah, he definitely looked at all of those comics when he was younger.
Yeah. I'd say it's because Art's an Big 2 pro. He's probably had mates. Yeah, and he just said, look, Greg, can you do this cover for me? And Greg said, yeah, sure. And nobody caught him on it to say, you're about to be cancelled, Mr. Capullo. He didn't like to tell him to go jump anyway. I don't know. It's the Greg Capullo I see today seems like the stuff he posts on Twitter, and I suppose you shouldn't go off that. And I've said before, don't meet your heroes is good advice. It seems really, really lefty. But it's also normie lefty. Like, you know how the norm has pushed more left than it's ever been. So the stuff that he's posting isn't that radical. It's just regular, uninformed. It's the sort of people that Mark Dice interviews that can't tell you who's on Mount Rushmore and stuff. And you think you guys are Americans, you can't tell me who's on Mount Rushmore? You know,
but the point is he's not a crazy ideologue.
Yeah. So, or maybe he's just got so much crap nobody thought to try and cancel him. Fantastic artwork though. I love the costume designs. There's no
it's definitely 90s image.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the comics. That's my generation of comic books.
Yeah, for sure.
I was a little kid in the 90s. My Superman has a mullet and all that.
Yes. Have where he came back with the mullet. I love the cyborg Superman design. I thought it was one of the coolest designs.
It was like the Terminator face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just something about the pristine goodness of Superman's costume marred with this dark, Terminator face and all the mechanical bits down the side. It's fantastic visual. I've always wanted to do something similar where you've got, in universe, you've got a big character that was severely damaged and come back, cybernetic, and that's just the norm now. And it's like he used to be this really handsome, heroic, godly dude. Now he's just like this half cyborg. I suppose if you're half cyborg, makes you 3/4 human, doesn't it?
Yeah. But yeah,
another one that I thought would have been
for that same reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like Brett Booth jokes that he charges $8,000 for a cover.
Brett Booth
would be more than that, surely.
He charges $7,500 for any page, and it's only pencils.
Yeah, it was less. And I saw somebody say to him, "Are you seriously charging?" And this might have just been a bit, but someone said to him, "Are you seriously charging $7,000 for a page?" He goes, "For you, it's $8." Like just, that's more than some people's whole campaigns. I'd love to have gotten I'm in two minds about it. I do want to get a big name because
imagine having that recognition.
Brett,
right? He's a great fucking artist, but $7,500. No one is worth $7,500 for a fucking page.
I don't know.
Nobody.
I thought Ethan would have been charging 5 figures for his.
No,
I don't know.
I would pay $1,000 for a page, and even then, you're going to be inking it for me if I'm giving you $1,000. I would never ever pay $7,500 for that. I'd have to be a millionaire for me to just willingly throw around $7,500.
Yeah, that's a corporation right there. Because there's someone, God knows how many issues of whatever he does.
I heard Sorry, J. Scott Campbell. This can't be right. I heard he charges 6 figures for his covers.
Yeah, Ethan said he's $100,000 to cover.
I can't believe that. I don't think anybody alive's. I don't think Alex Ross is worth $100,000 to cover.
I don't think that
Alex
can't
Ross.
be true. I know J. Scott Campbell is very, very expensive, but I don't think it's $100,000 to cover or anything because he just did like 12 covers for DC.
Yeah.
You're telling me they gave him more than $1 million?
Is it just Ethan spinning shit or what?
Oh, most likely.
The other thing about $7,000 to cover for Brett Booth is, are you guaranteed to get $7,000 in sales back? You know, old mate doing Battle Brick Road put out his, was it Kenneth Rocafort cover?
And
And
it features Necro, which is everyone's automatic favorite when it comes to Battle Brick Road.
yeah, and he jumped up $10,000. So let's say he paid him $1,000 for the cover. It's certainly a good investment. I'm a bit iffy about that because I think I don't know. Would the artist, because my regular artist said, "Oh, well, I'll do the cover for you for the price of a page." I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's working on cover designs and that. I don't know if he'd consider it a slap in the face if I got an alt cover as well.
No, alt covers are fine. Like you can get as many different versions of your cover as you want, you know, until customers start saying that you've gone too far.
So like 36 covers on a Rob Liefeld book.
Yeah, no, that's way too fast. He has learned absolutely nothing.
Makes Rob. I was in this comic book writers group on Discord ages ago, and there's this one bloke on there would come on, and his bit was that he was Rob Liefeld. He had Rob Liefeld as his profile picture, and he played everything like he was Rob Liefeld, and every response was Rob Liefeld. And he'd do redline draws over your artwork, like with Rob Liefeld perspective and Rob Liefeld anatomy. He'd like cut the feet. You don't need these feet. Cut these feet. That's absolutely hilarious. And he's such a troll because he never said a positive thing about anybody's work and always talked himself up. There was a time there I thought it might have been the real Rob Liefeld. I love Rob. Rob's my hero. I want to be Rob when I grow up.
I had heaps of like X-Men and I had Deadpool and stuff. I had X-Force when I was younger.
I had like 6 copies of the first issue. You guys ever see the first issue of X-Force? They used to sell them in a plastic bag at FDB. You guys remember FDBs?
I had the first appearance of Deadpool, and I got it for $2 out of the bloody the bin thing when I was a little kid. It's ruined nowadays. It's one of the books I used to read all the time.
Bag with some cards. You used to be able to get all Bloodstrike and Brigade and all those Liefeld Extreme Studios creations. I read heaps of those when I was a kid. And
what was that Michael Turner one I got the other week?
Michael Turner?
Yeah, remember that one I got the other week? I showed it all to you.
Wouldn't have been Fathom. You wouldn't read Fathom.
No, I've got Fathom. It's not Fathom. Why wouldn't I read Fathom? I've got all of Fathom.
The only person I ever saw read Fathom in real life was my mate's girlfriend.
Well, Fathom's sweet. I really like Fathom.
Shut
your damn mouth.
I
I can't remember what it's called, but there's something. I got the whole thing, the whole collection, 6 issues for like $5 just the other week. And it was because no one's ever heard of it, but it was really good, and it's all done by Michael Turner.
He's a fantastic artist. I liked his stuff on Identity Crisis. I didn't much like Identity Crisis, but I liked his artwork on it.
Yeah, that picture of them all standing around the grave, that's famous as hell.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd ask to do a cover if I was going to do an alt cover.
I find doing covers really difficult, as opposed to just a poster or a pin-up or anything. Because I'm trying to figure out, all right, you put the picture there, and then you go like, if it's just going to be a pin-up or something, like just a one character in the middle, sure, no problem. But a cover is it's a different thing. You know, when you're trying
to art to itself.
Yeah.
With write, because as you guys know, I also write novels, and I've got a bit of a backlog, and I'm going to start marketing and selling them soon. A lot of people online recommend this, even if you are an artist as well, even if you think you can design and you can draw and you can paint and you can do digital stuff, whatever, don't make your own covers. They always end up looking dodgy. Like making a cover of a novel to be seen on Amazon as people scroll by and pop out at someone, that's an art in itself. You need to pay someone who specializes in that, because it's so particular, you could completely misfire your whole book by not having the right sort of cover. And I think the same thing applies with comics. Like I remember when Kyle Ritter's Jawbreakers cover came out, and it wasn't even a cover, it was just a pin-up, and everyone said, you've got to make that the cover. Like people's interest blew up over that cover because it was just so bright and so bombastic. And half of all my reviews, the first half is always just talking about the cover because it's just that important. Every one of my reviews starts off with, "This is the cover. This is how it looks. This is how I think I'd interact with it on the shelf."
Yeah. I was going to say that it has to get your attention if it's on a shelf, and you got to remember it's going to be sitting next to things like Superman and Batman and all that. So how is it going to pop? Like, how's it going to stand out when it's next to all those others?
We literally judge books by the cover.
Absolutely. So, wanted to ask you guys this question. Kellaway, do you know I'm on my other computer and I don't have my Indiegogo account and all that stuff on this one. Can you pull up, is it Blaster Comics on Indiegogo? I think that's the guy.
What's it called?
Blaster Comics. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can find him. Because I've been dying to ask you guys about this. The Ultimate Crusaders. That's the book.
Oh, yeah, I backed that, and I'm going to go back it again. I like it.
Okay.
I'm going to go get one of the sketches because I didn't pay for a sketch. I just got the book.
Well, did you see his alternate cover?
Yeah, I saw that. I got the email. The alternate cover.
So I wanted to ask you guys. This
I really
cover,
like his art style.
Yeah, I really love this kid's work, man. But the thing about this cover right here is that it had his heroes and his villains on it. And his other two covers didn't have that. And I wanted to see what you guys thought about this, because when I saw this, it inspired me a lot more to check this campaign out and to look into what was going on. Because he had his villain on there with his heroes. So what do you think? If you're introducing a new character, a new universe to the world, do you want to just have the face of your heroes on that cover?
My cover has everything on the front cover except for the Gribbolus, which is the main big bad. Because the whole point is, you don't know what that is. Even when you're reading the book, you don't know what it is. So, other than that, I have absolutely everything on my cover. There's some monsters on there. There's good guys and bad guys.
You have some antagonists on your cover then? Okay.
But your book's more narrative focused, Dean. Like, that's a good cover. Something like Jawbreakers, it's not so much the story. Like Zach's got Grand Bazaar and every 66.6 whatever, and this happens that. You don't really need that. Jawbreakers 3. That's all you need, because it's Jawbreakers. You got these big characters. You got Cuffed. You got Silkworm. It's just the big, colourful. Like Devil Dog looks cool as hell. He's one of the coolest looking characters. You just need that cool looking. And people go, those guys look badass. I want to know what they're doing. They've got guns. They're going to hurt people. I'm down for that. Whereas yours is more of a narrative. So I think you need to have that narrative on the cover. You need to have a bit of everything. Whereas something like my book, Company Man, it's very similar in tone. You can just have them all. I can just have these, just these big bad motherfuckers on the cover. Stand around looking cool, jumping in an explosion or whatever, and people go, "Well, those guys look cool." I'm gonna, and I've said before, I think covers need to reflect what's happening in the book, but that's with floppies. That's with issue by issue. Something like a first issue when you're first introducing a new character. I think you do need to just have primarily the main characters, but I'd say this Ultimate Crusaders overlaps more with Dean's book than it does with Jawbreakers. So it's about a narrative, because the two protagonists are kids, like pre-teen kids or barely teenage kids, adolescents. They don't have that cool factor. So having the villain on the cover works, because then they've got this Dr. Doom looking guy that they're going up against. I mean, a lot of people like the villains more than they like the heroes in a lot of media anyway. So I think if you're going a narrative route where your characters aren't visually amazing, they don't have that pop factor, maybe you need to have bad guys and the monsters and the Dr. Doom looking villain on the front cover. Something like Jawbreaker, something like Company Man, something like even Kel's book coming up probably just needs his character with all his tack gear and stuff, either doing something cool or, look at all the John Wick covers. It's just him walking towards or away from the camera. Look at the cover of every Jack Reacher book ever made. There's like 30 of them. It's just always a bloke's silhouette over the horizon walking away towards the next adventure. So it'll come down to what sort of book you've got.
I completely agree with what you're saying. And you can always go with, even with with what I said, how I've got pretty much everything on the cover, you can also go the complete opposite route and give like a minimalistic cover. Like what I just sent you check out the messages. I
Yep.
just sent you this image. I'll do a proper version of that for like the deluxe edition cover of the complete book. You know, the first 2 parts together.
Mhm.
I'll do like a proper, like, you know, make it look better. That's just a quick rainbow mock-up. But you see that image I just sent you all?
I do.
Yeah. You know, like something like that can work for a cover as well.
Yeah, especially once
I
it's
just-
established.
Yeah,
and linked
exactly.
with the law. You know, they're really effective.
I'm
covers
thinking
that
that's going to be my bookmark, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Watchmen. All you need is that little smiley face button, and it evokes 30
Yeah, I
years of
love that.
history.
That's a great logo.
You know, anything like that that's got that's established, you can rely on symbols and symbolism to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Even really,
Yeah.
there's been some really simple covers. Oh, we lost kills. Something like Mark Miller's Nemesis, where he's all in white, but he's painted the red smile on his own face.
He's always got the blood splattered all over him too, which
Yeah.
creates a great.
That high contrast. So, you know, I'd like something really classy and cerebral, but it's not going to happen with my book because the big enemy is, of course, big factions, big governments, big bad guys deep within. I don't know, people actually watching this. Is that a real, or is that somebody else's quote? There's not really people watching this, is there?
Oh, Skip.
That is Skip.
Yeah. He doesn't want to come in because his kids are on. He's got the kids, but I said come in anyway.
Who'd do that? Who'd come in on a stream when they got screaming kids in the background? What an asshole.
So unprofessional.
I wouldn't buy a comic from that guy. Shit. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, if I had all my characters on the cover fighting one of the enemy teams of metahumans, superhumans, whatever, then you're going to have 15 characters on the front cover. It's just going to be this big cluster. It's going to be too overwhelming. People are not going to know who the main characters are. So I definitely think I need to stick with just like a vanity shot of the group doing something cool or standing around looking cool. But I don't know what the solution is.
I was just talking and nothing was coming.
Well, you talk then.
Are you going to do what he says, Cal?
What's that?
Click on one of the links.
That's what I'm trying to work it out, but it won't. All it does is they put user in a timeout or block him. That's all it does.
Motherfucker.
How do you give someone a wrench, CG?
God damn, I hope you guys ain't talk to me because I can hear shit again.
Hold on. I'm going to do this. Don't worry. I got you.
I've got this, boys.
So you click on his comment, you can either show it or you click on the 3 dots, and all I get is put user in a timeout, which I accidentally clicked before and I blocked Skip.
Well, now
and then the other one.
I'm reading them. It says message deleted, message deleted, message deleted. Skip, are you deleting your messages?
He already doesn't want to be associated with us.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
Love that dead air.
Just trying to wait. Trying to see if he figures it out. Has he got it here?
CG, can you hear us at all? Or are you...
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
All right.
Good man.
So while there's a bit of quiet, I just want to say thanks for gathering us blokes together and giving us a place to have a bit of a chat and be on the vanguard of the next, like you're a consistent pusher of comics, promoter of comics. I see people thanking you all the time for all the promotion that you do. You're building up that solid rep. Trying to be sincere here. You guys knock it off. Stop being so cute. Anyway, I just want to say thanks for giving us a spot to have a voice. Like I probably wouldn't even be streaming or doing any of this sort of stuff yet. I wouldn't be promoting yet. I'd be thinking, I've got to be squirreling away getting the book done. But now I'm able to do a bit of both because you've given me this opportunity to step out into something I wouldn't have normally done. So thanks for that, man.
Lee, I feel so friggin' bad, dude. Because I didn't hear. I just heard thanks for gathering us together, man, and then the rest of it just cut out. God
That's right.
damn it.
That was the Cliff Notes. That was the Cliff Notes. Thanks for getting us together and giving us a spot to have a chat. You know.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
You have to rewatch the stream. It's at about 129. Go back at 129 and watch that. I'm trying to be sincere over the top of the kids.
I will, man. I'll go back and look. But look, here's the thing. If you guys find like-minded people, all right, gather them around us, because that's what we need right now. We need to get Next Gen CG up and going. That's why I got you guys here. Skip is part of this. You know, he made mention he's wanting to come up with Bancroft and all these new guys that's been popping up.
Yeah, we've got Wood as well, Chaotic Neutral, and Smiling Bandito.
Yes, all those guys, man. We need to. It's just like the hashtag that I threw out there today to Jonathan. You know, it's time to take back the Citadel. You know, we got to which. This might sound a little extreme or whatever, but we need to try and recover what's left of CG, gather it up, and get this thing off the ground and going again, man. I feel like as of late, I get this feeling from a lot of new guys that the steam and the passion has just been let out, you know?
Yeah, we've lost a lot of momentum.
It has, and there's no reason, because you know, if Ethan and all those guys want to go do Dynamite, let them go do Dynamite. That's fine. And there's people that disagree with that, and you know, we've seen over the last few weeks how SJW and Dynamite actually is. But CG was never about these pros that's come in here and taken advantage of all of us. Every one of us. Okay, it's about the customers.
See, outside of hiring a famous artist or something for a poster or a cover, I have no interest in working with any ex-pro or anything like that, you know? Like, I would love to have like someone like Frager or something draw something for me, that I would never want to work with someone like Gail Simone. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather poke my eyes out.
Well, there's no momentum in that. Like these people are stagnant. These people aren't moving forward. I think some of the momentum loss that we've experienced is it feels like there's a splitting away. I don't keep up with the memes. I'm not really sure what the peasant meme was about, but I got the feeling it was like an idea of the haves and the have-nots. You know, you got like the big names, the ex-pros, the ones that have got all this power, all this influence, the ones that can. I mean, even someone like Zach. He gets an idea for a comic. He's got the money and he's got the goodwill and he's got the crowd base built up. And he legit and did it 100% himself with his own two hands. I cannot fault Zach. Zach is, you know, I want to be Zach when I grow up. You know, I really can't say a bad word about the way he does things. But if he's got an idea for a comic on Tuesday, it's being made on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I'm saying to the missus, oh, look, we're going to have to drop Stan because that's $10 a month I need to put towards the book. And I'm lucky that she's willing to say, okay, go with it. Do that. I hope they're going to change it to the Washington Foreskins. More respect. I don't know who on Twitter I stole that joke off, but Skip's like, did you block me for buying Dynamite variant covers? So I think whatever the peasant name is, I think there's this have and have not, and there's people who can make stuff happen immediately, and they are comic pros. Zach is a comic pro. I'm not. I got 30 odd pages of drawn artwork and a killer script, but that's it.
The peasant memes, they're a lot deeper than just something like that. I mean, there was a lot of things that happened. With the way these pros were talking to these smaller creators. And so that's where all of that stems from. It's when you see these memes, just like the one I shared with you guys in the chat with that Gail Simone had all that stuff. She had no idea what they're doing. but there's a lot of wisdom in those memes if you can get past that everything that you see. I mean, it's just.
I'm not scared of rainbow dildos.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you see those dildos, like the dynamite dildo. I mean, you're just like, if this is your first day at ComicsMATE and you see a dynamite dildo, you're like, what the fuck is that? You know, why is that here? Is that something Dynamite's putting out? I mean, you just have no idea where it's coming from. But
Lee was saying it's memes within memes within memes.
Right. Well, there's a lot of history in memes too, and that's like so last year, which I think was before you guys got here, dildo memes. I mean, you want to talk about dildo memes? You don't see very many dildo memes anymore. They're very, very rare now because the memes have evolved. But last year,
every day. What are you fucking talking about?
No, you don't see real dildo memes every day. I promise you, you don't. Real dildo memes were 1 year ago. It was. I cannot explain to you the level of fucking dildos that were showing up in Twitter threads and on YouTube channels and stuff. It pales in just whatever you see right now. Just know. Last year, it was 1,000 times worse. You're not seeing dildo memes. You just, you know what I'm saying, right? It's just you're not really seeing. You just, it's so fucking hard to explain, man, because it was so much more extreme last year. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. But there's a lot of history in those memes, and that's why you're seeing dildos, yellow dildos pop up. Is because they're referencing, you know, that's the way they used to go after people back in the day.
Well, I might have misunderstood the peasant one. Then I thought it was more about the distance between the capable pros who can make stuff happen and the smaller creators that are coming up that are clawing their way up. You know, like when I say, like, you know, somebody can quit DC and turn around and get $100,000 Kickstarter or Indiegogo in 6 months, the next month or 6 months time, whatever. I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed to do that if they've got the talent, if they can draw that well, if they're, you know, they've got that fame. Someone like Brett Booth does that, Kenneth Rockford does that. That's totally legit. That's capitalism, man. They've got the ability, they've got the skill, they've got the fan base, they can do that. But then there's also more opportunities for them, and they ComicsMATE is just lifting away. They're lifting off towards Dynamite. They're lifting off towards all these. You know, as it was a rising tide raises all ships. What's that one? They're saying, you know, as the tide goes up, all ships get lifted up. I don't feel like that's necessarily happening. I feel like it's like the cream on the top or the oil on the top. As more people come in the bottom and they inject the money and the creativity in the ComicsMATE, it's pushing that top level up. And you might be halfway up or a third of the way up or 2/3 of the way up or on the bottom, but you can't. None of us are ever going to penetrate into Ethan level, into that inner sanctum sort of thing. I feel like, yeah, they're all up there and they've got their own momentum and they've taken so much of that momentum for themselves that everybody underneath them, we've sort of stalled and come to a stop. And I think we need to publish, once we get our own stuff out there, once we have physical books in hands and it's not just all talk, then that's when we can really call ourselves next gen CG. That's when we can really call ourselves, you know, the second wave or the next wave or whatever, because we weren't in on that ground floor. And fair enough, those people did the hard yards and they've built their ivory tower and that's where they are. And that's theirs. I'm not going to take it away from them. But there's no easy path up the mountain anymore. Like, we've got to build our own mountain and build our own tower on top of it. And while still waving the ComicsMATE banner because we believe in those ideals, we can't just rely on that. It's just going to be the hard yards. And that's why I think the system falls down when you've got all these people that make a book and put it out there and they just keep retweeting, make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. And they don't do any actual marketing. They don't do any actual campaigning on their own books. They expect other people to do it for them, people like CG World Order over there to do it for them, or they just think they can put it out there and it'll magically just happen. People will just contribute to it. But there's so many books I don't even see that are out there, and I back pretty much everything I can. There's books out there I never even hear of, so we do need a better system.
Well, I agree with everything you said there, Lee.
Thanks, man.
I really do. And
I love being echo chamber.
No, you're not in the echo chamber. And what you were saying about your idea of what these memes encompass, they do encompass that as well. The only thing I was saying there's so much more to it though. Because I've been around these guys a lot longer and I understand, which it's just like saying I understand how an iceberg works because I can see the tip of it. But I understand them a little bit better than most people do. But now Skip, he's here talking to me. He says, CG World Order, I agree and disagree. The bigger creators should get more mainstream fans' eyes on us. And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But here's the thing.
It's the way they act.
It is the way they act, and they're not. I don't want to say this about all of them because we do have a lot of good-hearted pros in CG, but the ones that are the loudest, those guys are at the top. They're the ones taking advantage of us as far as like fans and customers. Two, they're also directing or dictating the direction of which ComicsGate is going in, and that's something that we cannot have.
I don't feel as though I'm being taken advantage of, but I do think that the way they're steering the CG's public perception is the problem. But I don't personally feel like I'm taken advantage of at all.
I've said this a few times in the chat, that I feel like a lot of these big creators have had this great toy called ComicsGate, and they've been playing with it for a while, and they've had their fun, and they've moved on to something bigger or a bigger, better version, or the bigger crowdfunders. They've had this toy, and it's so much fun, and they get so far with it, and they've learned so much from it. And right before they leave to move on to bigger, better things, they break the damn thing, and then we can't even get a go. By engendering that ill will, and like you're talking about, Dean, I think the perception of ComicsGate, they can damage everybody else coming up under them. So I feel like they've had their turn and they break it and they leave the ruins there. And we're like, well, I wanted to have a go. I feel like I don't think I deserve a go, but I think I could have a good go if I got the chance. But now I don't even get the chance because you're poisoning the well.
Yeah, well, I've said before that I think ComicsGate is more of an idea than a group. You know, War Campaign is a group within ComicsGate, but ComicsGate is an idea. And the more you try to change ComicsGate, the more you just push yourself out of what that idea is. Because at the end of the day, if you end up doing, like what everyone's saying right now, that whole controversy with the Dynamite situation, like that's not ComicsGate. No matter how much Ethan and that try to say it fucking is, like, no, it's not. It's just not. It goes against everything that the idea of ComicsGate is. And so when you sit there and you have people at the very top, you know, at the very forefront of ComicsGate saying those things, then you get other people saying, all right, well, these people represent that whole group. And it's like, well, no, we're not a group. Half of us don't even know each other. You know? Like, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And this is what this is what I was telling Ascension Cinema the other day, because he had his ideas of ComicsGate and things like that, and I explained it to him like this. ComicsGate.
How do they keep the dildo so yellow? That's a very specific diet.
You have to ask them. I mean, those guys are the ones that are up on all the dildo stuff. But I explained this to Ascension Cinema like this. ComicsGate is Bushido. It's...
Go on.
That's it. It's Bushido. It doesn't change. Right? If you're not following the ComicsGate code, you're not following Bushido code.
No, I get it. It's just what Dean was saying. If you try and change it, all you're doing is changing. You're pushing yourself out of it. It's like oil and water. ComicsGate's water. We're all water. If you start saying, "Hey, I'm oil and ComicsGate's oil," and everybody else is water, all you do is, well, in this case, rise to the top. But all you do is force yourself away from it. You know,
rise to the top.
Yeah, well. And then work with Dynamite. But the point is that you can't have the oil and water in a mix. So the more you say, I am this thing, and this thing is ComicsGate, if it's not also water, if it's not what the majority is, if it's not the unchanging rules, customer focus, then all you're doing is, like you said,
part of the idea, it's not ComicsGate, no matter how much you try to shape it like that.
Yeah, that's a good thing to keep in mind.
It's all about the books at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, yeah. And this is another way that I view ComicsGate, is we were discarded fans that came together and we are creating an alternative industry.
Yep.
And that to me is a lot more important than, 25, 30 years.
Hey, you know we're doing it right too,
Right.
because you're getting their attention.
Getting
People
their
know,
attention.
people know what ComicsMATE is. More than one book has made thousands and thousands. 6 figures, more than one book.
Exactly. And Skip, you're really throwing me off here, brother. EBS has a circle of friends we need to build our platforms with. A circle of friends we can all carve out our own corner.
I think we're seeing that when people gravitate towards these groups, you sort of got like Shay and Michael, and they focus more on the literature side of things. They do like these in-depth breakdowns on how to writing workshops, that sort of stuff. Sort of stuff I'd like to get involved with a little bit. Sorry?
Dark Gift Comics.
Yep. And then you got Rob and Adam and those other guys doing like Replicator and all that sort of stuff. There's other Aussie blokes, and they're always doing like how to draw type stuff.
Yeah, Rob and Clayton, they're on their own entirely.
Yeah, just doing their own thing. And while I haven't paid a lot of attention to the sort of stuff they post beyond just the artwork. I don't know if they.
I watch their YouTube all the time.
What's that?
I watch their YouTube stuff all the time.
Oh, cool.
A lot of good tips. I think I've
plateaued. I think I've plateaued as an artist unless I do some really intense.
You can't say that. You can never say that.
Unless I do some really intense guided workshops or studies, something where somebody's over my shoulder saying, "You've just messed that shoulder up." Unless there's somebody that will learn better by doing on their own. Some people learn better by guidance. Unless I have an expert there helping me correct the mistakes I've learnt so deeply I can't see them anymore, I don't think I'm going to get any better. Is the sad truth.
Lucky you do have an expert.
I might have to send you some stuff for some red blinds sometime.
Yeah, awesome.
We got a new person in the chat.
Are you posting
ComicsMATE Studio?
See that?
That's Stephen. That's SK.
It is.
Stephen, I've got the audio for Terra Olympus Volume 2 review done. I've just got to put some pictures to it, and it'll be up this afternoon. So keep an eye out for that.
I feel like too, like going back to the CG ComicsGate, it's definitely more of it's more of an ideology, not so much ideology, that's a bad word, but it's more like I don't know, what do you call it, a cause or something. It's just where going back to the classic roots of comics, it's not so much any one person or a name. It's more of like a movement or just
Bushido.
Yes, and like we're seeing now, there's a lot of groups forming. You got Ethan and his sort of gang. You've got you got Liam and his gang. You got Michael and his group and all that. And I don't know. I just feel like us four and try and get a chaotic neutral in here as well. But I feel like we've built up enough. We've built up enough chemistry between us now that we can. I reckon we can build a group up, and we can promote each other, and
Yeah, and Chaotic and Smiling Bandito are building up something extra with their D&D sessions that they're doing as well. There's a lot of crossover there with Shay. They're getting Michael coming on.
I can't wait to jump into that.
I had a lot of fun last week when I participated in that. I'm fortunate enough to be a regular. I'll be on each. Well, it's Wednesday here in Australia. It's Tuesday night for the Americans, so that's coming up soon. Looking forward to that. I was going to say, can we look at it maybe like I like CJ World Order's idea about Bushido. That might be a bit abstract for some people. Could we look at it maybe as we all barrack for the same sports team? We all back the same team. We all back the same team, the same ideals, the same victory. We want comics to win. Now, one of us might be pro-life, one might be pro-choice, one might be Muslim, one might be Christian, one might be black, one might be white, but we all back the same team. Maybe that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And if you don't want to back the team anymore, If you say, oh, they got this guy in and he's a shit wide receiver, I don't want to back the team anymore, I'm out. It's like, okay, well, you're not ComicsGate anymore if you want to back away from that. But it's not a prescribed set of rules that you have to stick to, because then one person's dictating what it is. Bushido is a code, it's a mindset, and so is, I suppose, being a supporter of the team. You always want the team to win, you always want them to have victories, but you're not afraid to call them on their bullshit when they do badly, when they drop the ball.
Yeah. It's all the,
It's
the
kind of
argument
like
SJWs.
it's kind of like, you know, ComicsGate. Like it just stands for like a core, just a few core group of principles. You know, it's like customer service. You know, good stories. You know, just your classic core principles of business and what comic books should be. That's basically all ComicsGate is, really.
Yeah. And that's what brought us all together. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with your race, your gender, your sexuality, any of that shit. All of us, we're all just comic fans, and that's all we need to have in common at the end of the day. All we need to care about is we want good comics, and then that makes you ComicsGate.
That's it.
It's pretty simple, isn't it?
Mm.
Right?
Well, I've had this discussion with SJWs and everything. Like,
I
we're
know.
not a hate group. You guys are welcome to join. Just don't fuck around. Like, all we want is non-political bullshit. Like, I just want a good story. I've had more fun reading comics from ComicsGate in the last couple of months than I've had in the last 5 years reading mainstream books. Hello?
I don't know if you guys are saying anything.
Oh, I was muted for a second.
I mean, I'm handicapped over here. When I first got this set up, I was doing really good, and now I'm back to being a dumbass again. So I don't know what half you guys are saying.
Nah, you're alright, mate.
I sent the link to Chaotic Neutral, and he's like, "I'm at work," and I just reply, "Fuck work."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get something up now. Something ComicsGate related.
Kemosabi's gone. He'll be back.
Where'd he go?
Must be kids
Them
again.
damn kids. Yeah.
He loves his kids, man. He's always taking them to the park or doing something with them.
Have you guys seen the idiots defending themselves from the Whisper Network shit?
Nah.
Well, they're all starting to come out. Like today, I saw it this morning. They're actually starting to try. They're trying to defend it as if it's nothing.
I saw Jamal Lingle trying to defend it, say like it's normal. You get it in every aspect of life. It happens in every job ever. How are you going to complain about it when it's yeah, Rot 10. He's really just Skip's just saying about Rot 10 has his own little corner too. He's just been plugging away at his channel for ages. I remember he first turned up months ago, and he was getting 3 viewers on his streams, and he's having call-ins and stuff, and there's some very unique people calling in, and they just sort of have a chat for a couple of hours. But he's just doing the legwork, man. He's just building it up, and I haven't checked in on him in a little while. I don't know if his goal is to build up a platform for his own books or just to promote other books. But we definitely need people who are in a position, tastemakers, who can sort of say, hey, here's this book. I think it's really great. Consider it. Have a think about it. Which is all I try to do with my review.
Appreciate what you were doing. You and Cal both have this. Like, you guys are reviewing books that I've never heard of. Usually when you look at reviews on YouTube, you get nothing but mainstream stuff. But you guys are specifically doing crowdfunded books and Indiegogo and comic books. Well, I was thinking
when Englewood come out, it was a little bit behind when it was supposed to be, but I heard that Micah kept everybody appraised of it, and he sent preview copies of the first half of the book. Sorry, mate?
A little bit late. That can be forgiven. No one's going to hold that. Get it delivered.
But when it came out, nobody was talking about it. I don't know if it's just because they were waiting for the physical copy, or if because it had been delayed a bit, people sort of overlooked. Sometimes in the last 3 days, I've had about 10 new books turn up in my inbox, and I'm just like, I don't know where to start. I suppose I just do them chronologically, or whichever one takes my fancy the most, I guess. And plus, I've been promising Stephen a review on Terra Olympus for the last fortnight. I just haven't had a chance to get it done with the kids and everything. So when Englewood come out, I thought, well, nobody's talking about it, but there's going to be people who want to buy in late, people who are curious, people who want to see if Micah's, put up or shut up, if he's able to do what he says he can do. So I did a review on that because I figured that's what people would want to see. And there was only there's only like one other review of Englewood online for weeks afterwards. There's Dina fan. It's like this young lady who does reviews, and hers was more about the technical side of it. She didn't go into the story too much. So it's different reviews bringing different things. But I'd like to think that by highlighting these projects that people haven't heard about, it gives them a bit more visibility and also gives the creators a chance to look at it and say, oh, I did this well, but what can I do better in the future? How can I improve? Because it's all about improving. I certainly want my second book to be better than my first, and so on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I just like I appreciate getting like a not too spoilery review. Like you guys go through it and you're like, all right, I'm not going to spoil everything, and then you do. If you are getting towards something that is going to be a spoiler, you always mention it in your videos. I really appreciate that stuff because I've said it a million times. I hate when you get a book and the cover looks awesome and then you open it up and all the interior pages look terrible and it's not the same artwork or
it's
all
too
kinds
frequent.
Yeah, and
another reason I'm hesitant about alt covers.
That can stop me. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't really like alt covers either. But that'll stop me from buying it if I look at the inside and I don't like the inside. So I appreciate it. Keep making reviews. You've got 10 at the moment? Get on it. You too, Cal. What are you laughing at?
Oh, I get too lazy.
Exact reason.
I want to do a stream with you guys where we review Abductables issue 1.
I really liked it. It was
Did you?
great.
I knew you would. And
that
art, I love Canales' art, man. And it's simple, like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles art, but the expressions and things that he captures in those guys' faces are just perfect. And I thought Michael right now is my favorite CG writer. And that's why I backed his Grayscale. And what I would like to do is...
I had a couple of out loud moments with the Abductable. So
what I would like to do is sit down and do a review of this book and then go over and do a review of his campaign in the same stream, just dedicate that stream to him. And I think that's what, just like Lee was talking about his review of Micah's book, and this is, man, I got some fucking opinions here.
Go, do it.
This is where I feel that Micah is only in it for Micah. He feels like he's a fucking prima donna. He did not even he didn't comment on anything that fucking Lee put in his review for that book. He didn't even say, thanks, I'll do better next time, I appreciate this, I disagree with you here. He completely ignored or disengaged Lee's review. And if I was a fucking creator and I seen somebody put up a review of my book on YouTube or after it came out, I'd be over there watching it. And I'd be thinking, yeah, he's got some fucking valid points here. And I'd be like, hey, I'd be on Twitter, I'd be on his YouTube, I'd be like, I'd be engaging with him. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right about this stuff. I need to improve here, da-da-da-da-da. But it just fell on fucking deaf ears.
Well, shit, right? I'm going to stay quiet about my opinion on that whole situation mostly.
That's fine.
Like, I would not be handling it the same way like Mike has before. Like, I'd be watching every single review. I would be taking every single bit of advice on hand. And to be honest, any issue that comes to like my books or, my writing specifically or my artwork, I probably already know and was hoping that no one else noticed. So if you guys noticed it, I'd just be like, oh, fuck, I knew I have to work on that. So
that's so true.
Yeah.
I can't write that any other different way. It's just got to be what it is. Somebody will call me on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do you... Here's something else, too, is Lee was his customer. you're not going to engage with your customer. You're just like, I'm fucking great, and you got my book, and fuck you. I don't care what you think about it because this is Eisner material. Get the fuck out of here.
No,
Go engage with your customers on a positive. Wenger does it every day.
You can see the difference between someone who is aiming to be the best of all time and someone who is literally just trying to give you a good story. You know what I mean? I would be honest to God happy if I get a fan, let alone someone who turns around and says that my book's their favorite book ever. If you turn around and just said, yeah, you really liked it, I'd be like, oh my God, that's the best thing. I'm flattered. Thank you.
I'd love to have that name recognition where after a few books, I put out a book and people go, oh, Kemosabe's putting out another book. I'll jump on that. It's like, don't you know what it's about? Don't you want to check on it? No, I trust him. It's a bit like Ennis, unless it's some weird feminist slant on some of his stuff. That one with the Russian female sniper felt a bit sort of SJWE. Aside from that sort of stuff, pretty much anything Ennis writes, I'll pick up on. Just purely on the fact that it's got his name on the front cover. It's like Stephen King. I'll pick up and read a Stephen King book just because it's got his name on the cover. I've read everything he's ever written that I can get my hands on. I don't agree with his politics at all. His Twitter burns my eyes to see, but I'll always check it out. I'd like for people to go, Kemo's putting out a new book. I'll jump on that because I know it's going to be good. That's all I want him to say. I know it's going to be good.
For me. And there's only literally, how many writers do you know? Even now, how many writers are you a fan of that you think about and you go, yeah, I would definitely, maybe 2 or 3 at the most?
How many writers can you even name? Aside from the ones that people laugh at.
I can name 2.
yeah. Aside from the ones that people make fun of, the Harry Potter writer or the... Two kids crawling on my back.
I wasn't... you just brought up J.K. Rowling. I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking comic book writers.
Oh, right.
I wasn't even thinking about... I only have 2 favorite writers, and 2 writers that I even think about when I'm like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, I like their storytelling. And that's Neil Gaiman and Scott Snyder. But I don't agree with either of them politically.
No,
Neil Gaiman's making himself online.
I think Ennis is pretty much the only one that I'll hear that he's... I couldn't tell you anyone else because back when I come up in comics, it was like Scott Lobdell and Roger Stern and those.
I like Alan Moore.
Those guys. Alan Moore's a big name. Yeah, I'll check out. I'll look at an article about anything he's written and see if I want to give it a closer look because some of his stuff's just a bit too esoteric for me. But I think Ennis is the only name I go, oh, Ennis is putting out a comic. I'll go to the local and tell him to hold me a copy because it's going to be entertaining no matter what. Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything of his that I could point out and say I've definitely read that. I like a lot of Mark Miller's stuff, but I won't just buy it automatically. Some of it I love, some of it I can't stand. But Nemesis was really hard to get through, but Starlight is beautiful. Starlight, I can't believe it's not a movie already.
I only like Kick-Ass when it comes to Mark Miller. I really don't like most of Mark Miller's stuff. I like Kick-Ass a lot. Kick-Ass is one of my favorite books of all time. But most of his other stuff really just, I don't know, it just kind of feels hollow. Doesn't feel like it has any real substance to it when I'm done with it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was good enough. And then I just never think about it ever again.
You feel like it's a bit formulaic, like he just sort of he knows how to put together a good story and a good clip, and then once it's done, you don't really reflect on it too much. Exactly. Yeah, but it's a sustainable, profitable model.
Oh, I'm not saying he's bad, right? Don't get me wrong. It's just other than Kick-Ass, nothing he's ever written has really hit me.
Have you read Starlight?
No, I haven't read Starlight. I've read Nemesis and a few others.
Wanted?
Yeah, I've read Wanted. I really liked the book. I read the book because I liked the movie, and then I liked the book so much that it ended up making me hate the movie.
Yes, I read the book first, then I saw the movie. I'm like, what is this? This is it's disappointing.
I was like 14 when that movie came out, so I was the perfect age for it.
Yeah. I haven't read the book and watched the movie, and the movie was shit.
Yeah,
the movie was shit. The book is really good though. Read the
There's
book.
no way they'd be able to get you'd need Marvel money to make the comic into a real movie, to have all these big powers and all these big scenes and all these characters and costumes. But if they did it right, if they played it straight and had all the bad guys standing around in spandex, like it was, you see sometimes somebody will do like a real life Wolverine cosplay and just looks ridiculous because it's this hairy bloke in yellow spandex standing in a comic convention. You think, there's a reason they changed it to black leather. And I love all the old stuff. Like I come up Silver Age, so I love all that sort of stuff, and Bronze Age. I don't have a problem translating it to real life, but I see where it falls down. I think if they played wanted straight and just did it panel for panel, character for character, and didn't try and Hollywoodize anything. I think it'd be I think it'd be a phenomenon. Like they turned, I can't even tell you the character's name in Kick-Ass. They turned him from being an awful incel cuck, really mean, horrible person in the book. Like he's a mean, selfish little person in the book, but in the comic, he gets the girl, he gets jacked, he gets ripped, he wins.
In the movie.
Sorry, in the movie, yeah. In the book, he's awful. There's that scene right at the end where she sends him the text of her cheating on him with a local football star or whatever. And he's jerking off over it. Like that's the low bar. Once you've set that bar for your character, there's no coming back. He can save a bus full of nuns in a burning orphanage on top of a Tibetan mountain, and I'm still going to think he's a terrible person.
It makes me wonder about Mark Millar's childhood. Yeah. He goes for the whole, all right, this is superheroes in the real world. Is that what your real world was like growing up, man? Because that is not at all what my real world was like.
I reckon he's probably super straight-laced, just super regular. And a lot of those British blokes, because of the media...
You could say the same about Garth Ennis too. Some of his books are fucking
and Alan Moore. That whole British invasion, Morrison, they've got this slanted take on superheroes because they come up with this satirical English, almost like there's a bit Australian too. You shouldn't be the hero. Australians got a really bad case of tall poppy syndrome. You stick your head up, it's going to get cut off. You do well. People go, look at this guy. Look at this guy over here thinking he's doing so well. I don't know if you guys have seen that. There's a bit on Netflix that comes up as an ad on Netflix now and then. It's some lady doing a comedy skit, and she said about how everything. It's a bit like that Carl Barron one we were looking at the other day. And she goes, Australians don't like compliments. They don't like being told they're doing a good job. And someone said, oh, congratulations, I heard you had a baby. And she goes, oh, yeah. It's a bit shit, though. It's a shit one. Doesn't do it. Just sits there and eats, cries, So it's a bit like that. Like you can't, in Australia, you put your head up and you do something above and beyond. You immediately get criticism. I wouldn't want to be the Prime Minister of this country. You could do everything 100% right and people still criticise you. Look at this dickhead over here doing everything right. The fucking wanker. And if you do things right, why don't you screw up now and then, you fucking dickhead? Like, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it to yourself.
It can't.
Yeah, look at this shit. Yeah. So I think there's a bit of that in the British as well. They stiff up a lip. They don't want to put their head up and say, look at me, look at me. You got someone like Churchill, who almost took the sins of the nation on himself. He didn't say, look at me, I'm Churchill, I'm so great, I'm doing a great job. He's like, I will read the comments. Sorry?
Read the comments.
Someone's telling me to shut up.
Yeah, read the or Leroy's comment. Did you see that Trent Kaniyuga, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, is thinking about bringing Creed to Indiegogo? I heard about that.
I've been on the private chat. I didn't see all these. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for watching my reviews, brother. And yes, the first draft will always suck. I heard someone say the first draft is black and white and edits add color. I think it's a nice way to think about it. It's your black and white construction, that first draft through. You come back through and you add color, you add texture, you add character on the second or third pass. In my latest review, Stephen, there's a bit right at the end where I need you to cover your ears while I try and poach Von off you for a project I've got coming up. So just pretend. There's a bit there like, Stephen, cover your ears for a minute. Just don't listen to that. I'm totally not trying to get Von to come and do sci-fi future cops in a neon cyberpunk uniform.
He sent me a message last night and said I can poach Von if I want to.
Yeah, I would see his stuff in colour, to be honest. Why don't you colour your books, Steve? What the hell? But yeah, I would love to see his work in colour.
So what's Creed? It's not Creech.
No, not Creech. Creed.
Yeah, what's that?
It's another comic from around the same time. Can we Google it? I'm too far away from my keyboard. I'm going to have to get up. Hold on.
I can definitely Google it. Yeah. Creed.
Hey, Callaway.
I've got some Creed somewhere too.
Callaway, make mods of us.
What's that? I couldn't hear you.
Turn us into mods.
How do we do that?
I don't know. How'd you do that, Skip?
We've been trying to work that out. It doesn't work.
Do you have to do that on your YouTube side, or do you do that from here?
Oh, I don't know. You can click on the comment, like Skip said, click on their comment, the dots, but all it comes up with put user in timeout or block user. So that's how I accidentally blocked Skip before.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I don't know how you give them the wrench or the mod, whatever you call it. I'm trying to work it out.
I remember seeing this Creed years ago, back in the 90s. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I never read it. I remember the style with the big shoes and the big hands.
Yeah, he had Creed had some crossovers with Spawn, the Hulk, Creech, and a few other random tough guy characters.
I mean, this is the perfect time for this sort of thing. You're talking 90s comeback, which is Comicsmate's big on the 90s, not exclusively, but it's a big part of it. Thanks to Zach and thanks to us appreciating that era. But like, what's this guy's the creator of this going to do? Go to Image and say, hey, I want to do a new Creed miniseries, and they said, all right, well, we'll give you this much of a marketing budget.
There we go.
You know, it won't have the success it can have crowdfunding. You know, I see that article, that interview with Rob Kirkman. He said he's getting in trouble from Marvel because he was advertising and doing marketing for his own books. I said, no, you don't do marketing for your Marvel books. We'll handle that. He said, but you're not doing any marketing. They said, exactly. He said, well, what the hell, man?
There's 2 6-gun Gorilla books coming out right now.
What's that?
There's 2 6-gun Gorilla books coming out right now. For that exact reason, because it's owned by no one. You know, it's free domain.
Yeah, I heard something about the fact that it was it wasn't copyrighted and there was a bit of contention there. I don't know a lot about it.
I think it was on Ethan's stream the other day. It was on one of the streams, but they were talking about it. And yeah, 6-gun Gorilla is an old property that was owned, that's in just free range, I guess.
Well, like Golden Age or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure when I know nothing about it, but the point is it isn't owned by the And so there's another one as well at the same time. Right now there's 2 6-gun Gorilla books coming out, made by 2 different people.
Well, the bloke I follow his work really closely online, Otto Gruenwald, he's on Tappers and he's on a few other places. He's absolutely, I think I've said before, I think he's going to, if he can get out, if he can break out, he'll be this generation's Grant Morrison or Alan Moore. Like, this guy is mystical, he's esoteric. You read some of his character profiles, you're like, man, this guy's thinking 5th dimension. I think I'm a pretty clever guy most of the time, but this guy's next level. I can't even get my head around the way he operates. His prose is amazing. His books are fantastic. He's got Billy Batson, Captain Marvel, as the star in his book, because it's that part of that character is public domain, like it's usable under certain
Really?
Yeah, and it's just amazing to see. He's got American Crusader and a bunch of other ones and a few originals. Stardust the Wizard, that really trippy character that can just basically alter reality. He's got all these guys in this big, like very, very Grant Morrison, very multiverse, very crossing between dimensions, very mystical, and it's all set sort of World War I era. So it's that time when the world is just coming out of superstition, just seeing the edge of the atomic age. Otto Gruenwald, I'd recommend anybody look his stuff up. If somebody's got the sense, throw that guy 10 or 20K to get a really quality book done, you've got yourself the next Grant Morrison on your hands. This guy is just fantastic, but he's using all these Golden Age characters under the conditions that, like if Dr. Savannah didn't appear till 1942, he's got to wait next year before he can use it because there's that certain gap, 80 years or whatever it is. But it's just really cool to see an own character being used in this other universe in a different way.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely look into him then, because you just said a bunch of stuff that all sounds good to me. Yeah,
it's sort of stuff that's missing from comics these days. I think just that real quality, deep lore. You got, I know Zach was really critical of Gail Simone's work on Domino because it's like she didn't even read the wiki. She didn't even know what her powers were. And
that's a completely different level of lazy.
What's that, mate?
That's a completely different level of lazy.
That is. And they're saying similar with Mockingbird. She's there saying, I wanted superpowers and there's no female superheroes. Both of those things are not true. She was always a spy. She's always a physically capable spy woman first, who then took on a superhero identity to enter into the world of heroes. She's the sort of person that rescue someone from Latveria or something, and Nick Fury pulled it aside at the last second and say, hey, all the other superheroes are over there prepping for the mission, but your real mission is to go in there and steal this disc or to kill someone or something on the side. The heroes are being sent in as a cover. You're the real mission. It's a bit like what Black Widow did in Winter Soldier. You know, Cap's there fighting to get the ship back, but the real mission was her downloading information off the ship. Cap was just a cover. He was the color. He was the boom, here I am. She was doing the sneaky shit in the background. That's who Mockingbird always was. Black Widow in the movie really is Mockingbird from the comics. And for, I think it was Kelly Sue DeConnick, Kel's favourite writer, come in and said that...
Hey, don't put that fake news on this channel.
don't say things you can't take back.
You're out of here. Go on.
Yeah, ban him for 5 minutes at least. And she, yeah.
Yeah, Lee, have you seen this one?
No, I got to back that one.
I've backed this one. It's bloody brilliant. This was one of the first ones I backed. Have you seen this?
I remember seeing it, thinking I was impressed with it, but I can't tell you whether or not I backed it.
The bloody color work. This is one that I was expecting a review from. Like, I looked on your channel and I couldn't find one. That's why I'm asking if you read it at all.
Because of the shipping and that, I back everything that's digital. If you've got an indie project and it's digital, and you're not asking for, I saw one project a while ago, and the real book was $45 and the digital book was $45. No, that's not happening. But if you're digital, if you've got a digital option and you've got an indie book, let me know and I guarantee I will back it. I back every single indie book I can find. Don't try and charge me $40 for an indie book, but if you charge me anything less than that, I'll probably back it and I'll do a review on it eventually. So if this doesn't have a digital version, I think that was the issue. As good as it looked, because I'm all about New Orleans, all about the Lovecraft. If it doesn't have a digital version, I can't swing the $25 US shipping because that's half a page of my comic that's not getting made.
See, I got the International Signature Series one, so I get a metal bookmark with it. But yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying. There's a lot of postage is a big issue for us Australians mostly. It doesn't seem to be an issue for anyone else.
It's so bad that I was at the point where I was considering printing and fulfilling in America through a third party, just because the idea of getting them all shipped to me, then me handling them and shipping them all somewhere else just didn't seem to make any sense to me.
Many.
I don't know. I've seen other people have really good success. The first Napalm Brothers, which is a fantastic book. I gave that a really good review. I love Napalm Brothers. Six Scale Combat, excellent creator. Did the whole thing himself. He's another one that you could say he did the whole thing himself. He did the art, he did the script, he did the coloring, put the whole thing together himself, the digital file. And then he got Doug Garrett from Gravestone Press to distribute it, and that seemed to have, he didn't seem to have any problems there. So, I think that sort of thing can work. But if they don't have the love and care that you have for your book, there's going to be mishandling, and they're not going to care. They're like, didn't Zach have somebody handle his books one time and do a fulfilling service, and there's just dozens of errors, and that's when you decide.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about that just the other week, because they were going to get on in the US to do all of their packaging and everything, and I told them that was a terrible idea, and I explained that you were just talking about that video that Zach was talking about it.
Yeah, it just seems like they think, well, I've got a job to do. If I get them all out, it's done. They don't care so much about the packing. I mean,
exactly.
I want to make a joke about plastic baggies now, Wenger style, because I can't believe you're still copping flack over that. I think that's a non-event. I think people just want something to bitch about.
Oh yeah, for sure. But a lot of the time you hear them going off their heads, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's not even that big a deal. Am I just a complete asshole or what? And
plus,
no, these people are dramatic.
And are they customers? Yeah. If you're not a customer,
it's not even their business. Yeah.
I didn't buy a physical copy of Super Harem, so whether it's delivered in a dime bag, whether it's delivered on the back of a mystical unicorn, I got no right to say anything about it because I was a digital backer, so I got digital. I didn't get a physical copy.
Yeah.
So who am I to say what? I'd say, hey, I wouldn't do that, or I would do that, or I think this is a better option. But my opinion doesn't mean a whole lot. But I love all these little tiny indie ones that you never even see with, $1,000-$2,000 stretch fulfillment goal. The whole campaign's just like $2,000, and you just don't hear about them. And there's dozens of them. I'm constantly getting all these little books, and there's a lot of good stuff in there as well. that's why I'd like to see a hub for all indie comics, not just ComicsGate, because I think if you can show these small indies that by aligning with ComicsGate and helping, that rising tide brings up all ships sort of thing. If you get these smaller creators to realize there's a big network here they can access, then we might be able to add them to the ranks and sort of swell this consumer movement.
Yeah, on Twitter, I occasionally share things that aren't ComicsGate related. Like just yesterday, I shared something because it looked adorable. Like in a little, like if you have a daughter or something, you're going to buy it for them sort of way.
Yeah, I'll share anything that looks good. If it's indie and it looks good, I'll share it. I don't retweet.
I have a line. Like if it's on Kickstarter, I don't bother because I don't even have a Kickstarter.
Yeah. Well,
There's some good ones on Kickstarter though,
There-
but you gotta search through the shit to find the good ones.
and you've got to sort of get past the fact that some of your money is going to be going to BLM no matter what you do.
Yeah,
Like, is that-
especially when they've got BLM in their titles.
Humble Bundle was the same. Like I realized
That is shocking what they have done.
some of the money that they get, they give to organizations that I don't necessarily support the ethics of. And my politics don't matter. I'm making a book. But where my money goes as a consumer matter, I don't want to support certain ideologies. So there's some I just won't get in on. And unfortunately,
I mean, unless you're writing a political book, right? Like you've read my story. It's
Zero.
so not political, right? Like,
zero politics.
yeah.
You couldn't be less political.
Yeah, exactly. And so unless you're literally writing a political story, there's absolutely no reason for me to give two shits if you're left or right.
Mm.
Yeah, and most of us don't even live in the same country either. You got a lot of Americans, a lot of Australians, a lot of Europeans from all those different countries, So, like, our politics is different to your politics.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. Our Liberal Party is actually the more conservative
I was
party.
about to say that. Our
Isn't that
Liberals
great?
are
The Liberal Party. Yeah. But it's more conservative. And then the Labor Party, which is supposed to represent the workers, has gone so far left that it no longer represents the workers.
10 years ago, the Labor Party was completely different.
Yes.
I was always brought up to vote Labor. My mum and dad have always been Labor ever since they were young because growing up in the in the mining industry and all that, Labor was always for unions and for workers' rights and stuff.
You guys
and now they're all just about fucking climate change and just leftist crap that I don't vote Labor anymore.
They're the Greens Party now. They're a shill for the Greens.
I voted for Pauline Hanson before I voted for Labor.
Yeah. So somebody's going to look at Kel's comic and say it might be political, but it's only political in the same way that Punish is political. If you want to put a political perspective on it, you can, because this person from this demographic is doing this thing to that person from that demographic, but that's just circumstantial. It's really a revenge story. Punish is a story about a man punishing himself.
Yeah,
nobody would pick the lifestyle he's picked. Nobody would do that. That's a suicide run. It's a 30-year-old suicide run
himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in Ennis's run, he puts him through the ringer. Holy shit! So, if you want, and my book is going to be seen as political because it's set in the Middle East. It's got terrorist attack. It's got that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to be cancelled pretty quick. But
at the end of the day, they'll find something wrong with no matter what you do.
No doubt. And every book finds their niche. I saw this bloke talking on Twitter and saying, he's got a book that's like a supernatural book and he wants to widen the appeal. He says, but people in comics are only really interested in superheroes. He doesn't think he's going to be able to get that supernatural appeal. How do you do that? How do you get people's eyes on your book when it's not what people mainstream want? And I didn't say it. I wish I had, though. I didn't have time. It's just a tweet I saw before I was out the door. And I wanted to say to him, that old, if you appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody.
But that seems like an ill-informed thing to say. To say that people aren't interested in supernatural and sci-fi and other genres in comics that's just wrong.
Yeah, he's going from that, that perspective of comics are superheroes, which it has been for a long, long time. But the other side of things has really picked up as the superheroes have dropped off. There's always been space for that other stuff. You go back to EC comics, to go back to the Crypt Keeper and Tales from the Vault and that sort of thing, Tales from the Crypt. Like there's always been horror comics. There's always the crime comics. There's bloody romance comics. Jack Kirby
not a genre. Yeah,
comics,
exactly.
perfect visual medium for any genre because you can do stuff with it that you can't do anywhere else. You can't do it in prose, and you can't do it in a movie. You can have a bigger scope than any movie, and you can have more complex emotions than in any prose. It's got its own shortcomings, sure, but it's a uniquely suited medium for that sort of thing. Who's doxing who?
What?
Oh,
In
they're
the
just
chat.
talking about where they're from. Oh, I don't
Oh,
know
right.
myself.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it vague. I don't think I'll ever be spicy enough anybody's come after me, but you just
I'm
don't
from
know.
Melbourne.
People
I'm in
make it
Creek. It's a tiny little town
You live in
outside of
Creek.
Melbourne. Yeah, in the sticks. It's on the edge of town. Like, we just get the city trains. Anything past my place is country trains.
Yep.
Sweet. I had cows block my front door one day, and I couldn't go to school.
Well, I mean, look what happened to
Good
Liam. He said what town he was from. It wasn't Gosford, wasn't Grafton. It was one of the other G's. It doesn't matter. But he said what town it was from, and immediately people are there looking up arrest reports of people with his name in that area, trying to prove he was this guy. Like the same day, he said, "I'm sure it wasn't Grafton, but it was something like that." So let's just say it was. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm out here in Grafton doing my work." Like half hour later, Liam Gray assault and battery, bashing his mum. He's like, "It's a different Liam Gray. It's from the next town over. Get your head straight." But you know, and he wasn't even that spicy back then. This is before he'd had some of his more prickly.
I still stand by those words. I said that Liam is generally a nice guy when it comes to Australian standards. I still stand by that. Like, he is not mean. He's not scary in any way.
I like it. I like Liam.
Yeah.
He's not the bloke. I was just amazed at how quickly they come after him, because at this point all he was doing was just pimping his book, and it looks like a good book, and his art looks like good art. Like Odie's art looks like good art, and he wasn't even doing like his controversial streams at that point. He wasn't doing his drama streams or anything, and they still tried to cancel him.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, Skip. Skip says he's sending me a digital preprint copy for a review. I'm surprised. Stephen K was the first person to do that. He said, "Hey, do you want to review my book?" I said, "Yeah, for sure," because I was trying to build my platform up a bit, and I've managed to build it to 30 whole subscribers. Everybody, look out, Community Play. I'm coming for you. But more and more people are contacting me these days and saying, "Hey, do you want to have a look at my book? Do you want to do a review on it?" So even though I'm not seeing the numbers in terms of subscriptions or necessarily the views, it must be sitting well with some people, because I've got people out of the blue saying to me, "Hey, can I send you a book? Can you do a review?" And if they've seen any of my reviews or heard about any of my reviews from someone, I don't know who'd be talking about it, they've got to know that I'm pretty, I wouldn't say brutal, but I'm pretty honest. Like I do call it down the line, and I expect the same back when I get my books out. Like I wouldn't give it if I couldn't take it. I got pretty thick skin. I'm a big boy. So for people to say I want to be put through the Kemosabe ringer, makes me really happy to see people want to be exposed to that and want to get that critical review. I've been reading comics for decades, so I'd like to think I know a little bit about it, and I can certainly give a perspective. You don't have to be a masterclass chef to say what food tastes good and what doesn't.
Well, Lee,
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I've watched your reviews. I really like them a lot. You're fair, but you're gentle. Let me tell you about a review.
Send
Was
him
it-
a savage review just to mess with him.
Yeah. So, no, but seriously, I used to, I was trying to be an artist and everything. I wanted to be a penciler for Marvel, and I just kept sending submissions. I just remembered what Todd McFarlane said. He sent in like 200 submissions before he got a job. And so I was just cranking out submissions, and they're about 6 pages long. And man, I got tired of copying them, having copied and mailing them in. So I just started mailing my originals in. Well, somebody at Marvel got fed up. Because I was sending in my originals, and usually you would get this form letter back, and it'd be like, we can't use you at this time. Sorry, we sent this dorky form letter out to you. All that crap. But this guy, whoever it was, I can't remember the name of the editor. It was a 6-page letter.
Wow.
He fucking tore me apart, man. And then at the end of it, he said, "Quit sending us your originals." And that was it.
Brutal.
But yeah, man,
That's
that
so
was
hard.
that was brutal. But I loved it though, man. I loved it. That was
The
a
sad
accomplishment.
thing is, not everybody can. No, I wanted the same. I wanted to be a comic book artist. I had certain goals. I was going to be published by this age. This age, it kept getting pushed back 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It never happened. I plateaued. I don't think I have. Some people argue this. I don't think. I think that talent is largely genetic and inherent. I think there's a huge inherent component, and while you can hone it and focus it, I think that me with 10 years of formal training versus EVS who picks up a pencil for the first time, EVS is still going to come out on top. Like there's such a big natural talent component. I don't think people want to admit that. I think there's a lot of people that are halfway talented that want to think they can grind to the point where they're going to be pro and they're going to be good. But I think that pro level stuff, you've already got it, you're born with it, and then you just refine it. So I don't think I've got it in me to be pro, which is why I've shifted gears and moved back into the writing thing. And I find more success with writing. I find I enjoy it more. I don't stress about it as much. It happens easily. I'm just finishing up a third 60,000 page book. I've got 100,000 to 60,000 page novels that I've written. I've got outlines written for like the next dozen. I've got more books and ideas than I can possibly put onto paper. So I don't regret that because I've landed somewhere else where I'm really enjoying it. But I suppose it's sour grapes, isn't it? If I was insanely talented, if I was Capullo level talented, if I was Jordan Gordon Murphy level talented, I'd be making comics already. So it's easy for me to say that, but grass is always greener.
Well, see, now there's a lot of things that you've got to put into consideration as well. It's not just practice. You know, like I think it might have actually been you that we were talking about a while back, how I feel like if I had actually focused on comic book stuff and not just done all the different, like I've done painting and animation and tattoos and all kinds of different artwork, but I feel like if I had focused on comic book style, my work would be a lot more refined and actually a lot better than it is now. But at the same time, going into, like, Rob Willis is a perfect example. Like, he's just better than most of us. You know what I mean? And, like, even now, I know how to draw, but my style has gotten to a point where it's so developed that I'll never draw like Rob Willis, no matter how much I try to. I could copy Rob Willis's drawings, but if you go, hey, Rob, hey, Dean, draw this, and we both draw the same thing, it will look completely different.
And I think that's part of that inherent talent, again, the idea that you're born with a certain amount of, because it's genetic. My father's a really good drawer. My grandmother's a really good drawer. Yeah. I think,
you know, like, we've all seen before the skeleton shape.
What's that?
Have you seen the skeleton shape before? You know, like the outline that people draw when they draw like a circle for a head and a quick rib cage and stuff, and they get the poses right for their bodies.
Oh yeah.
Like I've had this conversation with heaps of my friends from school and stuff growing up, because none of them were artists. But like, you can actually look at things when you're an artist. You can see those shapes in real life. You know, like I can look at anything, my dog, my cat, my table, and I can see those shapes that I would have to draw it on a page. And if you're not an artist, there's no amount of teaching that'll make you just see like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. There's
Yes.
it's been discounted, but there's the idea of sorry, mate?
Yeah, there are some artists that just shit all over me, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then there are heaps of artists that I shit all over too, but that's not the point. Some people just have this gift that they see things differently to you, and there's no amount of teaching that'll make you be able to look at things the same way they do.
Yeah. And I think there's some people who have got a little bit of talent. I've got a mate, been friends with for a long, long time, and he can, he can draw something that makes it looks like what it's supposed to. If he draws a Punish, it looks like the Punish. If he draws an Orc, it looks like an Orc. But he's never going to be pro. He works so hard. He's got that big, 10K bloody Cintiq on his desk, the big one on the swivel, the one that's big enough you could bury a body in it. And he's grinding away all day, and he keeps sending me the stuff saying, what do you think, man? How do you think you're getting better? And he's constantly getting better, but I hate to say it, he's never going to be as good as I am, and I hardly pick up a pencil anymore, and I'm not as good as Dean is.
I just have that natural gift.
Yeah. And like, Dean, you're a bit younger than me, man. Like, there was a time where it would have killed me to think someone that's, a few years younger than me is so far ahead of me, but I've just had to get to that point where I can't be angry about that, because
does it bother you that I spent 10 years driving a forklift and not drawing anything at all?
There you go. You just got to be happy with what you got. I'm happy that I can realize and actuate these stories, and I actually think there's more profitability in long term for me there, because you see I've talked about Brian Hitch before, who I think is an amazing artist. I really love Brian Hitch's style. His stuff on Ultimates is just beautiful. But when he's done his own comics, the story's a bit flat. he works best when you pair him with Grant Morrison.
Really good writer.
Good writer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, artists can be great storytellers in terms of the visuals. I mentioned before about how my artist puts all these little details in the panels that I never even thought of. The blowflies buzzing overhead and all that. So I didn't even put that in there. A lot of that stuff you'll see, it'll be because of him, because he knows what he's talking about. But they're good storytellers in that way. But there's also, and I know that Donald Lay was talking, I think he was talking about this the other day about, he said artists write your own stories, don't necessarily work with a writer because you're storytellers too. But I think it's a different type of storytelling. It's a visual storytelling. I think it's
writing and storytelling are two different things.
Yeah, exactly. It's naive to think that someone who's a good visual storyteller can then turn around and be a writer. And I think there's some people who think just because they can write, it means they can be a writer.
Rocketford. He's one of my absolute idols. We were talking about his Cyberfrog the other day, weren't we, Rog?
Yep.
Yeah, he's usually really good.
He looks like someone who's done a lot of life drawing because he all the angles and all the surfaces. When people do that sort of life drawing where they almost simplify the surfaces to be isometric, like flat surfaces, he's got that sort of style where you can really, really clearly see the weight and the three-dimensionality of the artwork. So I think he's someone who's probably done a lot of drawing from life. And again, like you're saying, Dean, those really good observation skills. I can picture anything in my head, I can see it, but sometimes getting it from my head to the page doesn't quite work as well as I want it to. And I think that's the shortcoming a lot of other people have.
That page I showed you this morning, that one panel where he's running away from you, so he's running into the distance, I drew that like 5 times.
Yeah.
Just to get that running pose right. It was so just difficult. But I had that pose in my head the entire time. I just couldn't draw it. Yeah,
sometimes the process from your brain to your fingers holding the pencil, it just doesn't want to work as well as you like it to. And it's the same when you're writing. You know the tone and the sensation and where you want the story to go. You know what sort of line you want the character to deliver, but getting that exact right word, the exact right phrase. Because when you're writing, if you write something that doesn't quite fit, it doesn't fit the character's voice, it pulls you out of the story. And it reminds you that you are actually reading a story. You're not experiencing events. When you get pulled out and you go, oh, that's right, I'm reading this guy's story, I suppose he's not too bad. It pulls you out of the story and you're not engaging with it anymore. Every time you do that, you lose them a little bit and they think less favorably and less positively. You hear about people talking about these books, they're all page turners, I couldn't put it down. That's the goal. You want people to be able to say, I don't want to put it down. So Leroy's just talked about Narwhal being an excellent writer. He's like a prodigy, I think, blurs those two lines between someone who writes and someone who's an amazing visual storyteller. And so much of what he does, I think, links together. You couldn't remove one from the other. Like reading a Narwhal script, I think you'd probably say, oh, that was cool. And seeing the artwork, you go, wow, that artwork's amazing. But the two rely heavily on each other to create this new mid-ground that I don't think we've seen a lot of before.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll quickly look him up now.
He's a guy who did...
Is it Earthbound?
Yes,
did Earthbound.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, big fan. Really like Earthbound.
Yeah, and it's not something I would look at twice until I saw it on Zach's channel. But once you have a look at the sort of stuff he's doing, you realise he's a guy that he really knows what he's talking about. And he's got that innate talent. He's almost like this hobo genius in his
it was Zach's video that I first saw it on.
Yeah. So you could read his script and go, oh, that's a cool script about a story within a story. I could see that as a movie or a comic or a book or whatever. But then to see it mirrored up, married with this animated flowing style, if you separate the two of them, neither of them is strong on their own. He merges storytelling and writing perfectly, which is something that a writer-artist can only do. You can't be one or the other and do that anymore. I'm a writer who can draw a little bit. Dean, you're an artist who writes well, but
yeah,
I'm
definitely more of an artist than a writer.
Yeah, and you got to know where you land. I realized too late that I landed on
know
the
your
writer.
strengths and know your weaknesses. It's the best thing you can do for yourself.
Absolutely, and Narwhal is hilarious. You got to check out his Twitter. I don't know if he's serious half the stuff that he posts, but it always makes you think. You go, is he taking the piss? Is he trying to start something, or does he really believe that? Like he's this guy. I reckon he's probably into all sorts of conspiracy theories and stuff. But if you were to challenge him on them, he'd be able to come back with some wisdom. And you're like, oh wow, you got me. I was going to call you a tinfoil hat, but you got me thinking about it now. I didn't expect that because people are so quick to discount anyone who doesn't agree with what they agree with. But I think Narwhal could come back with something that would get you thinking twice about it. He seems like a bit of a sage, a bit of a wise man up in the hills there somewhere.
Yeah, I've had a headache 2 days because of those conspiracy theories we were talking about the other day.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No, you're right.
What conspiracy theories were you talking about?
Some of the
Well, we're not
dropped
bringing
the
it
other
up. We are not talking about that on stream.
No,
That's
we won't
fucking way. Yeah.
It's just the sort of thing I'd rather know about than not, because then at least you can be prepared.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
That's all I'll say. Sometimes ignorance is not bliss, but once you know, you can't unknow.
Yeah, I know.
Well, look, boys, I'm probably going to have to skate soon. I've got to go sort out these grubs, but I hope that doesn't stop the stream. I hope you lads managed to keep
You're right,
on.
mate. Cal and CG have both been incredibly quiet, so I'm going to make them talk.
I think part of that's my fault. I talk too much.
I've got another half an hour or so I'm going to make them talk.
Yeah, all right, good on you. I'll catch it when I'm done. I've got to get some stuff done. But love you guys. Good talking to you. And I need to set up time for this sort of thing.
Right.
See ya.
What are you going to talk about, CG?
I'm waiting for him to leave.
What's that,
We're going
Kelly?
to talk about something.
What are you going to talk about?
Well, I'd like to share this dildo meme with you guys, but I can't do it because it's on my computer.
Send the link into Twitter, and then I'll share it for you.
It's in the War Campaign Discord. Hang on a minute, I might be able to.
I've got that. Hold on, let me open Discord. What are we looking at? Where are we going?
Got to go to Assault Memes.
Assault memes. Yep.
And go up to share your screen there, Dean.
Yep.
This is fun.
Go back to this StreamYards video. Share a specific window. Discord. Share. There we go. Right, just waiting for Cal to chuck it on the screen.
Oh, yeah, righto. There we go.
Yep. Alright, so what are we doing?
Alright, go ahead and scroll up. Scroll up until you see Thor.
Until I see Thor.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
Thor. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, speaking, that reminds me. What happened to Testify? What's going on with Testify? I saw them all talking about it this morning.
Man, I'm not really sure.
Testify's a dead man or something. Like,
I
don't know.
I don't know. I guess he's getting into it with Oz or something, but I don't follow Oz and all that mess there, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, me neither. I've seen a couple of Oz streams. What are you laughing at, Cal?
The dildo.
It's pretty good, wasn't it? It's Johnny Midnight.
So, did you start reading Lone Star yet, Cal?
Yeah, I've read about 10 pages before I went to bed last night.
Oh, yeah? How is it so far?
It's not too bad. The first few pages were a lot of political stuff in it, like, you know, don't kill me, just arrest me and call ICE. You know, if you're going to be out at night, get a gun. You know, a bit of right wing, bit of, you know, conservative talking points, but it wasn't too bad. It's not too bad, but yeah, it's a bit different. I don't know, it's okay. I mean, the book's good.
You would expect Lone Star to be a little bit political.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
There
was Rags. I read Rags, and that was really good, but there was one part where it got a little bit political. But, you know, like, whatever.
I think it'd be a good book. Like, after about the first 5-7 pages, it picked up all right. But, like, yeah, it wasn't like beating your over the head with it, but it was really like it the first page, he was standing on the rooftop, and he's talking to a pigeon, and he's talking about how he doesn't recognize the world anymore because he's a World War II vet, so he's obviously been brought back to life somehow. And
So he really is just Captain America.
He basically is, but I think he takes on monsters and stuff. But yeah, he's talking to a pigeon, and he's talking about how he doesn't recognize the world anymore. It's like spoilt kids raising spoilt kids who are raising spoilt kids and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty spot on what society is. But yeah, I think it'll be all right.
All right, anyway, CG. I just remembered because I'm on Black Flag right now. What was I going to say? Rob Willis's cover is not released yet. That's why we can't find it on the campaign.
He's gone.
Ah, damn it, he's gone. He's here, but he's not. It's fine. Either way.
Is Rob Willis doing a cover for Fragger, is he?
Yeah, have you not seen it yet?
No.
He's already released. The pencils were on his Twitter ages ago now. It looked bloody incredible.
I'll have to find it.
So yeah, that's what I've been waiting for. I haven't backed Black Flag yet. I'm waiting for the Rob Willis cover.
I haven't backed it either.
I'm going to, though. I'm just literally waiting for the Rob Willis cover.
Who is Rob Willis? I'll probably have to scroll down miles and miles and miles, I suppose.
Probably, yeah. Anyway.
Did he tag Fragger in or anything on it? He would have.
Probably.
I'll find it later.
Yeah, don't stress. Anyway, let's go for another book. Yeah, alright, I'm going to actually share this in a sec. Let's share this right now. Because this is actually something that I've actually already got and received and read. So I can actually tell you. Yeah. There we go. This was actually one of the first, it wasn't the first book that I backed, but it was one of the first books that I backed, and it showed up first. It was very quick in the mail, and it was like packaged brilliantly, and it's huge. It's a massive book, massive hardcover, but it is, you know, like, no, don't expect any bloody Nostradamus or anything like that. Like, it's a good enough story. It's a nice ghost story. No real twists or anything. It's just a cool little mystery story of what happened to this missing girl and blah, blah, blah.
It's got a hot chick in it. That's enough.
Yeah, it's a cool ghost story with some clever writing in it. Like some clever dialogue. And some good art. Like these the Tartamellas, I think that's how you pronounce their last name. See? Vinny Tartamella.
Masculinity at its finest.
You should see this guy. This guy here.
Yeah.
The one with blue eyes. He's a ghost, but he's a good guy. And you see him when he was alive at the very start to kind of show you who he was. He's this big lumberjack dude. He fights a bear. Bloody find it. If they show a preview of it, I'll show you. Yeah, he does. Look, yeah. He fights a bear. It's great. And you actually see him fight the bear. Like, it doesn't stop there. But it's bloody great.
Does he put his hands on both jaw and rip it open like King Kong does?
No.
Damn.
But yeah, and like this guy is one of the meanest sons of bitches I've seen in a book in a long time.
Yeah?
That was, if I was going to give it any criticism, it was this guy just seems to be an asshole for the sake of it. Like, he's just evil for the sake of being evil. They don't really explain why he's such a mean prick. He just is.
Just a douche, eh?
He does some really fucked up shit in the book too, so it's like he really is just a horrible, horrible prick. Like, fucking, I don't know, fucking, well, yeah, that's not even a spoiler, because it's like, you know he did something. He's the guy who definitely did something to the girl. You just don't know what he did. You know what I mean? Or like what happened to her or anything, but it was definitely him. From the third page of the book, you know he's the guy that did something. He's just a piece of shit. But yeah, great book. Definitely recommend it. And there you go. Look, regular comic size. It's this massive hardcover book. And
Did you get the hardcover or the regular?
Yeah, I got the big hardcover.
Nice.
That's what this is. I don't think you can get the regular ones anymore because this is, I think it was 4 or 5 single issues or something, but this was all put together for a collected edition. But yeah, it's bloody good read.
He's got another book out too, hasn't he? City of Venus or something. It looks really good as well.
Yep. And at the end of Through the Woods, there's a page that shows like a pirate ship or something. So I think they've got another book in the works as well.
Yeah, nice.
Because there's like a coming soon, like a preview of what else is to come for their universe thing that they're building. But yeah.
Cool.
All right. Stop sharing that now.
Did you back
Yeah,
that? Did you back
These are the
that
ones I've
Shadow
already
Sentry one?
Not yet, but it's on my list. Like you scroll down here, see? Here we go. These are on the list. Starblades. Shadow Sentry's here somewhere. There it is.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
probably getting back this week.
it's like a 90s X-Men 90s image.
I was about to
Classic.
say that. It really reminds me of the old X-Men books.
Mm.
I'll
Yeah.
probably get this one this week.
I backed the green cover, that one there.
That one?
Yeah.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably do
cool,
the same. Yeah, I think I will too. I like the green one.
There's
See,
so many
I
books
actually
now,
like this
it's
art.
like-
Does the book and I hope the artwork on the inside looks like this too, yeah? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely read that.
Well, I think the same guy that's drawing it is doing the covers. He's doing it all.
Yeah, good. Good. Like that's misleading if it's anything else, you know. And it needs to have good drawings to keep my attention. I'm sure a lot of comic book readers are the same because we love the good artwork. That's a lot of the artists are the big stars of the comic industry, so wouldn't be surprised if a lot of us feel that way.
Yeah, that's right. There's so many CG books now. It's like you get bummed now when you can't back them all because it's so expensive, or you don't have the budget, or there's so many books that you miss out on. It's like, oh damn! But then when you get like this new mainstream, you get these big X-Men, and then it's just falling off a cliff, and it's just like, who cares? Whereas you missed out on a CG book, you're pissed off for a week.
That's another thing. When you have a second campaign going, always make sure you include the first book as like some sort of tier where you can get the first and the second one, because that has saved me so much hassle. Because I missed Terra Olympus. I got volume 2 and I got volume 1 with it, which was just the way he was running it, which was perfect luck for me. And Littlest Umbrella, I didn't even know about it when the first one was finished, so I got the first one with the second one this time. There's a few of them.
Yeah, I didn't back Little Umbrella. I didn't back it.
I did. I like it. And plus, anything you do for Tug is a direct fuck you to the SJWs.
That's true. That's true. You help him replace his mailbox.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucking... Oh my god. How fucking old are you? The last time I saw anyone destroy a mailbox, I was about 15. Fucking idiots.
That'll get him.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll teach him. So
why are you so quiet, CG? What have you been reading lately?
I saw one of in his comments. He said his mic and speakers just crashed.
Damn. That sucks.
He lives in a third world country.
Yeah, half his country's on fire at the moment, so you can't really blame him. He's doing the best he can with what he's got.
Here he is. You back, CG? You get
Am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Have you had any more contact with Dan Shahan about the shops and stuff?
No, not yet, but I had an idea and I wanted to run it by you guys.
Sure, mate.
So everybody is
kung fu fighting.
They are, well, if you could call it that. it's more like redneck drunken brawl. But so everybody's kind of split 50-50 on the idea of digital comics. But I was thinking after Michael sent those copies of Abductables out to me, what do you guys think about having?
Hey, we love you, Boogie Butt.
It's great, man. I can't wait for Robert. That is, cannot wait to get behind that book.
That's
But
on my list, though.
what I was thinking about doing is having a store on the site that if you are a creator and you have a digital copy of your book, you'd be able to set it up to where you can advertise it, and if people wanted to, pay for it and download a copy, they could do it through the site and have that money go straight to the creator, not like through us or anything like that. And I wouldn't charge anybody for posting it or anything like that. But
I have a lot of thoughts.
What's that?
I have a lot of thoughts about that. On one hand, I wouldn't recommend putting a digital PDF out with your campaign as you originally release it, in case, pirating and people start sharing it around and stuff like that. But at the same time, I would say, let's say I finished with my first campaign, right, and you've got my book up on your website, I would happily put a PDF for the old campaign up.
Yeah, and that's what I would suggest. So we have, I don't know how many ComicsMATE campaigns are sitting out there right now that's already been fulfilled and shipped and everything.
But there'd be PDF around still.
Yeah, and these guys are just sitting on their creations when they could just throw it up on a website and have somebody shoot them, I don't know, $8-10.
Yeah, Rags is all digital, and I bought that. That's one of the only comics that I've ever bought completely digital because it was good. Zombie apocalypse, naked redhead in the zombie apocalypse. Good book.
So what do you think about that idea, Kellaway?
Run it by me again. I wasn't paying attention.
God damn it.
Digital, yay or nay?
I don't know.
Digital offered up on cgworldorder.com.
Yeah, it could work. I don't think I'll put digital when I do a campaign, but
no, not during the campaign. These are like books that's already. So, like, say for instance, if Michael Derrick decided he's going to offer issue 1 of Abductables, right? He could just. The campaign's already done and gone about a year ago, but he could throw that up there. And then if he does another campaign and he wants to offer that again in print, he can offer a variant cover, right? And that way it keeps that PDF unique into its own spot here.
Yeah, and it keeps the original campaign happy as well.
Right, and plus he's already funded and everything, and he's just sitting on product.
Yeah,
right?
he has a PDF that he could be selling for $10 a pop or something.
Right. So, and there's the risk of pirating and things like that out there, but
once you take most of the money from your book, your original campaign is where 90% of the money would come from anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just like movies and stuff, like as long as they keep pirating, down the first couple of weeks, they make all of their money anyway, and then they usually just let it go. Movies and video games, you can do all that stuff on the torrenting side.
And I thought this would be a really good way to give back to the community. That way these guys can still make a little bit of money on the side and help put towards future campaigns.
Well, I'm hoping Earthbound comes with the Volume 1 in the Part 2 campaign, because I didn't get Earthbound. So if it had a digital copy, that would have been that's a great example of what could have had a digital copy right now and would have made money right now. Because I can't find that book anywhere, not even on eBay. So yeah, I'm all on board. Just obviously not when you're originally running your campaign.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't. We would let these guys, yeah.
But anything that's already finished, hell yeah, that's a great idea.
I knew you would like that. Kellaway, he's muted himself.
Damn it, Cal. You're not getting out of it that easy. We're going to make you talk. I don't know where he's gone. Here he
I'm
is.
back.
Yeah, good.
Hey,
Bloody
See, he
dog.
was just about to say something.
My dogs are outside barking, so.
let's throw BoogieBot's campaign up for him real quick. It's not really in progress, but we can look at some of the art of the.
Is he on Indiegogo?
Yeah, hang on a minute. Well, he's got a
What the hell kind of question is that?
mailing list. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, like
Your
is he
audacity, Callaway.
is he on the what's his book called?
All right, I threw the link up to it in the chat. He's trying to get 200 people signed up for his pre-launch, and I think he said he's at 67 right now. I'd like to get him up to his goal there. That way, when
signing up for pre-launch.
yeah,
The
that way
steampunk. Is that it? The steampunk?
yeah. If we could help him hit his goal of 200, then he'll have a base to work from when he launches his campaign.
Oh, right. I haven't even thought about that. I've just literally been going off the idea that I'm going to print 1,000 copies.
Yeah, I
And
remember
I've
you guys
just been
talking
doing all
about
my
that.
math around that.
Let me look something up here. There is a company called Print Ninja.
I can't find it on Indiegogo.
I did the link to it in the chat here.
Righto.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. Yeah, I sent it in Twitter.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about Print Ninja. I just got Graveyard Shift 2 the other day, and I believe it might have been him. I'm actually getting several ComicsMATE comics this week, but one of them was printed up by Print Ninja, and I was watching some videos on those guys a couple weeks ago, and they were talking like 1,000 copies would cost you like about $1 to $1.50 a piece. I think we probably need to do some streams on these companies that do print runs and things like that, where they can get an idea of go through stuff.
Yeah, well, it started at like something like $7 per book to be printed, and then as it went higher and higher and higher, it just got cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah, that's Kentucky prices, man.
And yeah, I'm already signed up. I just double checked. I constantly sign up for things and then forget to do the confirmation. Whereas this time I have remembered.
Welcome, Skip.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey man, what's going on?
Damn, Skip, you're looking bushy, dude, since the last time I saw you.
It's alright, we've all got ISO beards happening at the moment.
Give me just a second. I'm gonna drop out for a second.
You want me to hit play on this?
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah. Do that.
I'm not
I'll
sure if the
let you know
sound will work though. Can you hear
No.
it? How do you share sound?
I've seen Michael deal with this before. I have no idea.
It doesn't really.
Is that a premium feature?
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to cancel your screen share and then restart it again. And then there's a little box in the bottom corner, share audio, that you have to tick.
So go back to share screen.
Yep. And you'll see the little box in the corner that says share audio.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Now it should work.
Can you hear that now?
Yes. I almost said no for a second.
A 1,000 years. That's cool.
Yeah, I love the artwork. The colors are beautiful. Sold straight away.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Damn.
BoogieBot, if you're in the chat, do you wanna come in and talk about your comic, or I can send you the link on Twitter if you want, if you're still in the chat. If he wants to come in and talk about it.
I don't know if he's still. I don't think he's still here. Yeah, I'm about to jump on the YouTube side and double check. Anyway, I'll see if there is. Is there even anyone in here? I have no idea.
Yeah, we
There's
have 5
five.
people watching.
I'll send him a message.
Yeah, Boogie he tweeted this out on Twitter. They just submitted it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He didn't tag Lee because Lee bailed on us.
Oh yeah, we've got 5 people in here still.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to say something? Anyone else? I'm running out of things to say.
Yeah, I'm sending BoogieBot a message on Twitter to see if he wants to come in.
Oh, is that why it's going on quiet? All right.
Well, we can talk about the new Rob Willis drawing that he just posted.
Which one?
It is a Venom drawing. He said he completed this about 1.5 years ago, but I've only seen the little kid in it. So, but it is. Rob is just out there drawing everybody's shit better than they draw it.
Yeah, that's what me and Lee were talking about before. Some people just have a natural talent that you can't compete with it. No matter how much training you get, there's some people who are just better than you. And Rob's one of those people. Do you know how angry I was when I saw Rob Willis for the first time? I came in like, you guys have seen my pages now, yeah? I came in going, all right, sweet, CG's not going to know what hit him. I'm going to come in and be this sick artist. Everyone's going to think I'm the best. And then I saw Rob Willis day one. I was like, what the fuck? Honestly. And I think everyone can relate to that. No matter how good you are at drawing, you look at Rob Willis, and I'd put him up against Jim Lee. He is one of the best artists I've ever seen.
I'll put a link to this in our group there, Kelly, if you want to share it.
So what's been happening, Skip? What have you been doing? Your mic's gone. We can't hear you.
Oh, no way. Have you said anything? I thought you were just quiet this whole time.
He's probably thinking, these pricks aren't listening to me.
All right. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to look for some new Indiegogo that we never really see. Some new campaigns to back.
I've had 2 new subs to my YouTube channel since we started the stream.
Oh, good stuff.
Sweet. I can't believe we still got 5 people watching.
Yeah, they're
We're
probably
obviously
just drawing
We're
and just.
obviously not that boring.
Well, you are. Anyway,
Listening to our slang and trying to work out what the hell we're talking about.
Will they go back and watch the replay?
well, what are some books that you guys are waiting on or looking forward to?
Shadow
got
Century is my main one that I'm excited for.
Shadow Century, hell yeah. I've got
Orgasm Girl. Orgasm Girl. I'm pretty pumped for that one too.
Pumped.
Bad choice of words.
Fucking. See, I'm actually looking forward to. I've been actually using a lot of the ComicsMATE reviews. I've been going on basically any ComicsMATE YouTuber, and if they review something, that's what I've been doing before I even buy anything at all. So hold on, I'm gonna share something right now.
Without
This
the
one.
risk of insulting someone, this Mark Polton, who's doing the USA Assassin and Graveyard Shift with Malin, he's not. Oh no, I'm thinking of Preston Polter. Sorry, wrong person.
Oh, holy shit!
Well, I've seen Polton. I'm thinking Polton. I'm like, nah, that's Preston Polter, not Polton.
Don't ever take anyone for Preston.
Yeah, no. That's why I thought Polton. I automatically thought Polter.
Yeah, I
But,
wouldn't.
All right. Can you guys hear me now?
we got you now.
All right. What a pain. How you guys
All
doing?
right, now we can hear you. Yeah, much better.
Yeah. First, you guys blocked me from the chat, and then from the stream too, huh?
Got to earn your stripes.
I thought we all earned those together.
Yeah, right? What the hell? Cal, why are you turning on everyone for?
What's that?
Oh, don't worry. I'm just busting you.
Yeah, I blocked him by accident. I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, accident.
So what's been going on, Skip? We haven't heard from you for a while.
Yeah, just kind of been quiet, drawing my book. I just got a new tablet today, so probably gonna do a stream tonight or tomorrow night, breaking that in. Got a digital art tablet here. Actually, check it out. I wanted to get on earlier, but check that out.
Nice.
It's a Huion.
I love my tablet so much.
I have one that's older, but this one, it has a rougher texture. It feels like you're just drawing on paper. It's pretty natural. It's nice.
Oh, nice.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I got the Wacom, so yeah, it's expensive as hell, and I probably spent too much money on it. But it's good. I use it every day, so.
I'm barely hearing you guys. Let me turn on something else so I can hear.
All right. Oh, still no news from Kemosabe. We've got a stream on Kemosabe's channel next time.
All right, can you guys hear me now? We got you now.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear myself too.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you guys. That's the problem.
I think we were just quiet, yeah.
Gaia. Trying to see, because it's only one headphone. It's not a dual, so trying to see how I can switch that over. And so, yeah, I've seen CG World Order posting a lot of stuff lately. Talked to him, what was it, yesterday? And then, but that's kind of been it. Just drawing. I'm out of the loop on most of it, so.
Yeah, same.
I've just been writing about Dynamite. Don't pay me no mind.
Yeah, well, Dynamite is CG, remember? So
Yeah.
take
Some
note,
of them
everyone.
Dynamite's just about business.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, I guess, what you want with all. Which is what we want with all the mainstream, don't we? Where they just they
I don't care how
who they tell.
they get good books. As long as they actually start making good, like, decent stories and good artwork and Like, there's not many actual artists or anything in the mainstream right now that I can look at and go, fuck, I wish I could draw like that. You know? As long as they get back to actually making quality stuff, I will buy it again. I'm not going to hold a grudge against anyone. It's all about good books. About those hot dogs.
That's it. Hot dogs with onions.
Ew, what the fuck?
You don't put onion on hot dogs.
Not on my hot dog.
Something wrong with you.
Who the hell does anyone put onions on a hot dog?
Man,
You
I
put
put
onions on
everything.
your snag. Sure, you put onions on your snag, but not on a hot dog.
Oh, you know, you put onions, you put relish, you put bacon, put everything on it.
No, I put bacon, cheese, sauce, mustard. I never put onion on a hot dog.
You're missing out.
You're rotten. It's like pineapple on a pizza.
No, I don't do that. That's inhuman.
Canadian food.
Canadian. Never go full Trudeau.
Did you end up doing all your videos, Skip, that you wanted to do? Mike's gone again.
Can't hear you again. What is Lee even doing here? He popped into the comments. You were supposed to be gone, mate. If you're in the, like, if you're in here, get in here.
Maybe it's just your beard, Skip, that muffling the sound.
How about now?
That's good.
Yeah, that's much better.
All right, that one wasn't technical. I muted it to yell at my son and then forgot to unmute it. Like, can you guys shut the door? They're like playing like 20 feet away, screaming.
Oh shit.
So no, but I did 2 of the streams. I did one with Shay, one with Smiling Bandito, and Patrick Thomas Parnell. I've been trying to get you guys back on one, but the timing just never works out. Like, so hopefully soon, miss streaming with you guys. So
We haven't streamed much lately. We've been flat.
yeah, well, yeah, Dean James, I've never met. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, man. I'm sure I've spoken to you on Twitter a couple times.
Yeah.
Dean's been busy. He's been cutting down all his trees in his yard because he doesn't like leaves.
Yeah, you're going to see that a lot on Twitter lately because I decided to put my book in the forest, and by page 3, I've drawn nearly 500 trees. And so they're all just ripping me to pieces about it lately.
I just saw that the Asian guy from Mythbusters, Grant Imahara, has died.
No way. How?
Didn't say.
Huh.
Huh.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
That's
Grant Imahara,
Yeah. What about him?
he's died. He was the Asian guy on the Mythbusters.
Oh, I haven't watched MythBusters for 15 years.
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, he's dead.
still sad that he died, you jackass.
I mean, it sucks that he died, but Mythbusters also sucks.
Yeah, well, that's true.
They had the best remote control for a car I'd ever seen. So
Didn't
Well, okay. I'll give you this. There's some give and take. Right.
John Travolta's wife just died too, didn't she?
yeah, last night.
What the hell? 2020, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a cursed year, isn't it?
Who here is going to be back in this?
What's
I'm
that?
sorry, I'm barely hearing. Backing what?
This. I just shared it.
Oh,
Hold on.
okay.
There you
There we
go.
go.
Who here is back in this?
Little salad.
I
It's got
just watched
300 backers.
Yeah, in just 4 days. But I watched all of that the other night. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
really
no
good.
idea how he makes it.
That cover,
Nah.
man. That is. Hold up. Go back up there. Let's
That
look at
looks
some
cool.
of these guys. So
This
Wenger is
I'm-
the what would you call that? Centaur dinosaur? What the fuck is that?
It's like a
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, like a robot centaur dinosaur with long pink hair.
I guess that's
You got
Kelsey.
Freya right here, and like obviously Ethan.
Yeah,
Is that supposed to be Anna?
I think
Like
so.
who are they?
And that's
That's Zach.
Kelsey Shannon.
Okay.
And this is, I
There's
guess this
Zach.
is the
There's
villains. Yeah, okay.
Who's that? Who was it on the top left?
That's your boy Zach.
Okay.
Yeah, Richard C. Meyer.
Who's the fat one in the black? Is that Ethan too?
That's Ethan. Yeah. That kind of looks like Rainbow Brute. Every time they say Rainbow Brute, that's what I picture in my head, even though that's not Rainbow Brute. There you go. Got Cockroach Cecil.
Those disco slippers with the goldfish.
It's so funny. I don't know where he comes up with this shit. Yeah, it's just so perfect the way he animates it all. Brilliant. He's an absolute genius. He deserves every cent he gets. Like, look at this shit. Who the fuck? I wonder what the book's actually going to be like. You know, 'cause
Yeah,
it's one
that
thing
is
to
kind
make
of.
like a 5-second clip. Because the episodes only go for what, like 5 minutes each?
Probably less than that, maybe around 2.
It'll say like there's a big difference between writing a short, well, not even writing, just kind of cutting together a short clip from all the crap that they say, and then having to write a story yourself. I'd be interested to hear, you know, how he's done that, like what his process and things are. Anyway, hail salad. That's a definite buy.
No, those guys had big platforms. Making a show and a comic about it, like it's got to be a pretty good way to sell some books. So.
Oh yeah, he instantly got recognition from everyone, you know? Everyone was instantly saying, hey, what the hell is this? Hey, have you seen that animated cartoon that someone did?
Yeah, the only problem with it is the only people that are going to back it are ComicsMATE. It's not going to appeal to anyone that's outside of those YouTube shows that got into those chats, you know?
Definitely. Like, there's some jokes in there that even I don't understand, and I'm actually part of ComicsMATE. So if you had no idea, you wouldn't know what the hell they're talking about half of it.
So did you get any follow-up on your call for artists, Kellaway? I saw you posted that. I retweeted it for you.
Not really. Got a few, but nothing I sort of wanted to. Sometimes you put a post up and you get everybody.
Yeah.
What style are you looking for?
Just someone that can do like a sort of a bit more of a realistic, detailed, gritty style.
Oh, yeah. Some
You
rough.
know, like not so much real scratchy stuff, but just something that's not cartoony, not really, something kind of like the style on that Red Team by Garth Ennis. I don't know if you've read that one.
No.
It's a cop story as well, and it's got sort of like a darker, gritty style art.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I've never even heard of it. So.
It's a good book. You should read it. Yeah. It's about a elite unit of cops in the NYPD that decide to cross the line and kill rather than arrest the big criminals. They just kill them.
Oh yeah.
Pretty dark shit. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What was it called again?
Red Team.
All right. Yeah, I'll write it down.
There's two. You got there's the first one, and then there's the second one. I think the first issue was like the first series was like 7 issues.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here's USA Assassin.
That's it.
I've
yeah.
never even seen this book. This is the first time I'm seeing this.
It come with the latest issue of the Graveyard Shift as well.
Oh, I did it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Hold on. I'll share the screen so people can at least see what we're talking about. Yeah. Because I've never seen this at all. Oh, shit. Hold on. I did it wrong. We want to share me audio as well because I want to actually have a look at this. There we go. Alright. Let's have a look at this trailer real quick.
So Graveyard Shift by Malin, is it actually Malin's IP or is it Preston Polton? I mean Mark Polton.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
It's a good question.
Oh.
Rated CG for ComicsGate.
I'm really looking forward to this book.
It's some good art.
Is there sound? We can't hear it. Oh, there it is.
Can you hear it?
No.
No, I'm not hearing that.
Damn it. Alright. I could hear that. It was just music anyway. Hold on. We'll try this again. Do. Share screen, share audio. I'm gonna share my entire screen. Alright. Can you see?
Can't see nothing yet.
Hold on. I've shared it with you.
No, it hasn't come up for me to bring it in.
Share screen. Share. Oh, it can't access your screen. Why the fuck not? Okay, no. It won't let me share my entire screen for some reason. Yeah, let's try this. This will work. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if the sound works this time.
Graveyard writer.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
When former government super agent Joe Knight takes a job with a private security firm, he thinks his days of superheroics are far behind him. However, when the team of metahumans he was hired to train double-cross him and keep his family hostage, he realizes old habits are hard to quit. U.S. Assassin.
Cool.
Who was this colorist?
I have no idea.
Back that up just a little bit. Let's see his team. Ah. That was some bullshit, dude.
There you go. He's got Eric Weathers doing the letters, and he's got Andrew Dollhouse doing the colors.
His colors look really good.
Yeah. See, that's something right now. Free tip for anyone watching. This like orange glow that he's got running down the edge of his character. Not enough color artists in CG do that stuff, right? And it makes all the difference. I spend an entire day adding glow just to random parts of entire pages. It makes all the difference. Yeah.
I'll share my screen.
Yeah, that looks really good. I want to get it. That's the first I've even seen that, so I'll give it a go.
This is that red team.
Oh, okay.
So the red cover here, yes, that's the first graphic novel, and then the
Click
second
on it.
graphic.
Figure.
So that's just the first issue, but you can get I got the graphic novel on Comixology for like $6 for 7 books.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
So like it's like a real dark sort of gritty, just realistic sort of style. This chick's hot as fuck, ain't it? She's sexy.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, good luck with that.
So they're like an elite group of cops that they're sick of criminals and stuff getting off, so they've formed a pact to just eliminate the main ones that they know are completely guilty. That the jury will bring back a guilty verdict in a matter of seconds. That there's that there's no doubt that they're guilty, so they just they take them out.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, yeah, no, I'll give it a look. Oh, so Chemo's read it, has he?
Yeah, I think Chemo's already read it. Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Anyway, what's happening today? I'm just scrolling through Twitter trying to see if there's anything new today.
Same shit, different day. Did you see what they're doing? Did you hear what they're doing to the new Power Rangers movie?
Yeah, I heard.
Morons.
Yeah. Power Rangers is probably the first superhero sort of teen thing that I ever saw as a little kid. And I have no interest in whatever woke remake that they're working on right now.
The reboot movie they done in 2017 was just awful, and then
Sounds worse.
the reboot of the reboot's going to be even worse.
Yeah. I'll take a sequel to that one from 2016 or whatever year it was over this weird reboot that they're talking about.
The 1995 movie was really good.
With Ooze. Yeah, I saw that in the cinemas. I was a little
Ivan
kid.
Ooze, yeah, it was good.
I still remember that like it was yesterday, and I was a little kid with my dad. Ugh.
Is that your mic, CG, that's got the big echo?
I don't. It should be mine. What are you hearing?
Background noise.
Yeah, I keep hearing the old TVs and you used to get the snow on the channels. That's what it sounds like.
Oh. You just now picking that up?
It's been going on for ages, yeah.
Oh, has it? Okay. Man, I wish you would have told me. That's my air conditioner because it's a hot motherfucker up in here.
That's exactly what it is. An air conditioner. That's what we can hear. Yeah.
Well, I want to hop out anyway, and I need to get all this stuff configured and try and get my regular mic back up and working because this one here sounds like crap. But
yeah, I might take off too. I got some shit to do before.
Yeah, we'll wait until 3. I said I had until 3, so wait until 3.
Righto.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry I got in late, and I'm still having audio problems, so.
No, you're alright.
You're fine. Skip, dude, it was good seeing you again, man. We need to get together to stream sometime.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure meeting.
I'll have to start that group message up again and add Dean to it, see what's going on. So.
But, you guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you all very soon.
All right, mate. See you later.
All right, take care, man.
There we go. No more aircon.
Yeah, no, that's way more quiet without him there.
Yeah, I'm actually going to jump too. I got to restart my computer to get my audio fixed. I have to reinstall the sound driver, so I'm going to hop. Good talking to you guys. And I was here for a good 2.5 hours of the stream till I jumped in after I got blocked and muted and all that abuse Callaway gives Americans.
Yeah.
But it's nice talking to you guys. Have a good night.
Too easy.
See you, mate. All right.
Well, we've had
quickly.
like 6 people watching. We got 2 now.
That's like 3 more than we normally have.
Normally we don't
Alright.
get any.
Nah, last time we were on my channel, I had 3 people watch before I'd even stopped streaming.
Yeah, really.
So that was the numbers are rising. Watch out, PewDiePie. Anyway, yeah, this is your channel, so I was about to do the whole send-off thing, but it's your channel, so that's up to you, Cal. I am going to say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm going to head off too, so.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you have backed many books, and I hope you intend to back many more.
We'll do. We'll do another stream in a couple of days or something. We'll try and get everyone back.
Yeah, I swear I'm building up to doing that breakfast show thing that I keep saying I'm going to do, with or without you. So sooner or later, you guys will start getting daily streams from me in the morning.
ComicsMATE Food Network.
No, I'm not making breakfast. I'm not making breakfast. I'll be eating breakfast. All right.
Right, mate.
Yeah, mate.
We'll talk, yeah.